Friday, November 14.
We used to build in this country, and we are building our nation again.
The Prime Minister reveals his second wave of major infrastructure projects with a focus on critical minerals and energy.
Those family members, when they get displaced to other facilities, it creates a lot of havoc.
The community of Oxbow wants its health care center back.
It's because more than me is a most outstanding teammate, most outstanding wife, most outstanding fans, most outstanding support.
And a pair of riders earned some CFL hardware ahead of Grey Cup Sunday. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummold.
And I'm Kayleen Swatsky. Happy Friday.
Got our jerseys on. We are ready for Grey Cup Sunday. It's going to be an exciting weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. We have the Santa Claus Parade. We have Grey Cup Sunday. Yeah.
What's on the menu? If Grey Cup Sunday is happening in your house, what appetizers are you serving?
My husband's favorite food is chicken wings, but specifically Greek chicken wings.
Okay.
So probably that. What about you?
Okay, I think I'm on the same board. Maybe some nachos. Let's know what you think. Let's get on to news. We'll get to your weather forecast in just a minute. Prime Minister Mark Carney is calling the second round of major projects transformational.
But the bigger point is that their impacts will be amplified by being part of bigger national strategies to boost Canada's competitiveness, including to realize our country's full potential as an energy superpower.
So here are the projects that made the cut. The Silesim's mine, which is going to become Canada's LNG facility, a hydroelectric development project in Iqaluit, the Sisson Mine project in New Brunswick, the Crawford Nickel Mine project in Northern Ontario, the North Coast Transmission Line in northwestern BC, and the Nouveau Monde graphite mine, which is north of Montreal. The federal government says the Major Projects Office will streamline and fast-track regulatory approvals of all these projects and help them pull in private sector investments. Alberta's pipeline dreams were left off the government's major project list, but the Premier remains optimistic.
It's only recently, during this moment of national soul-searching, that we've seen any change in Ottawa's outright hostility towards oil and gas.
For weeks, Premier Danielle Smith had been pushing for a pipeline from Alberta to British Columbia. The Premier says work is already underway to secure First Nations cooperation and to address concerns made by BC's Premier over increased tanker traffic the pipeline would produce. Swedish company Saab says it could bring in 10,000 jobs to our country.
It's important for Canada to have sovereign capability in Canada to do their own upgrades, to build parts of it, to do final assembly and tests. We, as Saab, we are prepared to do that technology transfer to Canada. Yes.
Saab is the maker of the Gripen fighter jet. The CEO says that there have been talks with Ottawa about manufacturing the jet here in Canada, but that's only if Canada adds the Gripen to its military fleet. Ottawa has signed on to buy as many as 88 F-35s from the U.S., but that deal is under review right now. No decision has been made yet on whether to stick to that deal or go with the dual fleet that includes the Gripen. Saskatoon City Councillors will consider higher fees for out-of-towners using city pools, rinks, and rec centers. Jeremy Dodge, why?
Well, Daryl, this happened this week. A committee unanimously voted to include the consideration as part of its budget deliberations at the end of the month. So a report revealed a small fraction of people using Saskatoon's recreation facilities do come from outside the city, even though just 5% of leisure cards from 2022 to 2024 were sold outside the city. Administration says raising fees would bump up revenue while decreasing the amount of users.
I would like to have the tax-paying residents of Saskatoon at least have first dibs to get their children, or actually adults, just enrolled into programs.
Now, the city of Regina did recently implement a 50% surcharge for out-of-towners to register in recreational programs. One Saskatoon City Councillor is panning Saskatoon's idea of a special fee to tackle homelessness. Councillor Robert Pierce been critical of previous homelessness strategies and rejected how residents were recently surveyed. The survey found 63% of people would be willing to pay an extra monthly fee to address homelessness. A third of those said they would be willing to pay $5 to $9 a month. Pierce feels his residents, which live near a 106-bed shelter, are already paying more for thefts, vandalism, and cleanup, and asking residents to pay out of pocket blurs the lines of provincial responsibility.
All these things are a real cost to people in parts of this city that are not necessarily borne by everybody in the city. So if we're looking at fees and we're looking at doing this, I will be adamantly voting against no.
79% of respondents in the survey did say the city should support the homelessness initiatives of other levels of government and service providers. Well, Daryl, a Regina Police satellite office now open in Regina's main downtown mall.
Yeah, it's going to be near the Saskatchewan Drive East entrance of Cornwall Centre, known as the Hub. It will be space for officers to work while having a more internal presence inside the mall. Currently, the Regina Police Service says they have 27 officers dedicated toward downtown.
What we saw was gaps in coverage in years prior, historically, because it was taking members of the downtown safety team and the AROs out of the downtown core to have to go and work on the clerical type things.
We know that increased police visibility leads to perceptions of safety increasing. So I think anything that we can do to increase our presence and visibility in downtown, I think will be well received by the community.
Police do note investigative work will not be done in that space. City of Regina announced its plan to respond to the upcoming winter weather. Yes, it is coming. More than 130 staff and contractors will be using 70 pieces of heavy equipment to follow through the city's snow clearing plan, which is based on 5 road categories, from major roads and routes to small residential streets. A plow of the entire city will only occur when this single snowfall of 15 centimeters or more happens. The city officials say the residents can help out by moving cars during a residential plow or snow route and keeping sidewalks clear.
Over the last number of years, through the budgeting process, the city has increased our annual winter maintenance budget. So I think, if I look back to about 4 years ago, I think we were sitting around 8.7 million, whereas in 2025 we're at 11.9 million. So the city has recognized, and City Council has recognized, the increased cost of delivering these services, and we've adjusted our budgets accordingly.
New this year, there will be an interactive map on the city's website where residents can track the roads are being cleared and estimated timelines. A pair of Saskatchewan Rough Riders earned accolades from the CFL last night.
The winner is Jamarcus Hardrick, Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Jamarcus Hardrick Yoshi named the 2025 CFL Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman. It's the first time in his 11-year career Hardrick has received that honor, and it comes a season after he thought his career was over after suffering a season-ending injury.
It's because more than me is a most outstanding teammate, most outstanding wife, most outstanding fans, most outstanding support. I didn't do this alone. I had trainers who I shared videos with. They probably got tired of me. They told me I need to slow down. I just kept going, and just happy, man.
Logan Ferland, by the way, won the Jake Goddard Veterans Award for the player who best represents the attributes of Canada's veterans. BC Lions quarterback Nathan Rourke was named Most Outstanding Canadian and Most Outstanding Player. Let's turn our attention to the Weather Center. Join Kayleen Sawatsky. We got our Rider jerseys on. We're ready for game day. But first, what's our Friday look like?
Well, the Friday isn't looking bad. It's not quite as warm as we first anticipated it to be. We were talking about all those positive temperatures on the way. We are still seeing some into the double digits. It's just more so down towards the morning. It's kind of a strange day in the Weather Center because we're seeing temperatures warmer in the morning and then cooling off into the afternoon, which we don't see as often as we see it getting getting warmer into the afternoon. So right now we're starting at 13 degrees. These are the temperatures right now that we're going to be seeing going down. The afternoon, about 3 o'clock, we're going to be seeing the temperature around 6 degrees in Regina. Right now we're at 2 degrees in Saskatoon, so we're not seeing as much of that morning warmth. Later on, we're only really peaking in Saskatoon around 3 degrees, so it's not going to be a super warm day throughout the central zones. We do have a mix of sun and cloud to start the day. West winds coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. Now, the radar and satellite showing that we did have some precipitation overnight as well, and that trend is going to continue into parts of the afternoon for some places. Right near the top of the province there, way up north, and then right down south as well. We're going to be seeing some rain. We're also going to be seeing some of those flurries, about a 30% chance we see it in Regina, so not quite as likely as down in areas around Assiniboia and Estevan. So be prepared for that. We're also seeing some of that into Friday morning as well. Now let's continue on and look at Saturday. This is at about 8:45 in the morning. You can see just when we think that that system is going to fully push away, we have another system making its way in again, bringing some rain and snow down to that southwest corner to start the day on Saturday. And then into Sunday, we're just seeing some cloud cover. Today's forecast, though, we talked about those positive temperatures. So 13 degrees for Swift Current, 14 degrees for Moose Jaw. Again, going to be seeing some of that rain, though. Weyburn with some of that rain up to 9 degrees, and Estevan up to about 11 degrees. These are the peaks for the day. But again, keeping in mind that as we make our way into the later parts of the afternoon, these are going to be going down quite significantly. Regina today, we'll be seeing that high of 9 degrees. We're only really going to be seeing that about 9 a.m. and then going down to about 6 degrees for about 3 p.m. 3 degrees tomorrow, 4 degrees on Sunday, 3 degrees on Monday, and then some snow on the way for Tuesday as we reach 1 degree. In Saskatoon, 3 degrees today, 2 degrees tomorrow with that sunshine, 2 degrees on Sunday, and then we see some of that snow coming in for Monday, 3 degrees. Tuesday, looking clear from the flurries. They will return again on Wednesday, though. Tuesday will only be peaking at about 0 degrees, so the cooler temperatures are definitely on the way.
It has been over 3 decades since Oxbow lost its acute care beds. Now the town of 1300 has met with the government asking for restoration of acute care.
So I have taken care of many different family members, and those family members, when they get displaced to other facilities, it creates a lot of havoc. And so that's what we want to see at Oxbow, is we want to see our residents being able to stay in Oxbow.
More recently, the government brought the Oxbow and Gainsborough health centers under one administrator. The NDP is concerned about the direction being taken.
Mr. Speaker, Pamela Bartlett from the Oxbow area is here advocating for change in healthcare. This Sask Party government is standing by their decision to have one manager split between 2 facilities 50 kilometers apart. And right now, neither facility has an administrator at all.
The government says fewer healthcare managers is part of a plan.
We're going to continue looking for more administrative savings so that we can have more people on the front line putting patients first, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
As for restoring acute care in Oxbow, the government has responded by letter saying there is no plan to do that. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, we now know how the torchbearers and volunteers at the 2026 Winter Games in Italy will be dressed. Torchbearers will wear white uniforms with a red and yellow pattern meant to honor the Olympic flame. Usually those uniforms are white to keep the focus on the flame. Meanwhile, the 18,000 volunteers and others working at the game will be wearing blue jumpsuits with green, blue, and white patterns. The Olympic flame will be lit in Olympia on November 26th and will arrive in Rome on December 4th.
So do you like them? Would this make your Met Gala approval? Those are pretty basic, but I mean the white jumpsuit with the flames and...
Honestly, I was reading the script. I didn't see them. Oh, those. Okay.
Those right there.
They're okay. They're okay.
It's like a bridesmaid's dress. You could totally wear it again sometime.
Yeah.
Short day. Wear it again. Question of the day. We are obviously asking about your Grey Cup predictions.
Yeah, because we have to. It's the Friday before Grey Cup. The Riders are playing. Obviously, we're probably going to hear a lot of people saying, go Riders, and the Riders are going to take it. But tell us any other predictions that you have for the game. It doesn't just have to be who wins. Tell us what you think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
MGK falls off the stage.
Yeah,
there's
maybe.
a prediction.
Who knows?
Man.
That could happen.
Yeah. So we want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And forward, we head to European World Cup qualifiers where France was facing Ukraine. 41st minute, Bradley Barcola curls one on net. And Anatoly Trubin gets his fingertips on it to push it off the post, just getting enough of the ball to make the save at full extension. Very nice save, earns Trubin the must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up this Sunday on both CTV and TSN, it is the 112th Grey Cup. It's the Saskatchewan Roughriders taking on the Montreal Alouettes. Our countdown to kickoff goes Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The gates officially open tomorrow on one of Saskatchewan's greatest winter lights displays, and Mike Siona is giving us a preview this morning. Mike, good morning.
Good morning indeed, and yes, tomorrow it will be motorists start your engines down here at the BHP Enchanted Forest. Today, however, it's Steve Shannon, start your engine. Let's talk about this incredible display here this year.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. We're standing right in front of the latest, and Gerald and his team just did an absolutely fantastic job with Santa's runway. We just heard a jet taking off a few minutes ago. It'll be landing here in about 10 minutes, but it's just going to be fantastic. So if you haven't been for a while, for goodness sake, come out. And this is the Blue Cross Walk Night tonight. And as you mentioned, start your engines, because tomorrow at 5:30 is when it officially kicks off for motor vehicles here at the BHP Enchanted Forest.
I absolutely love that. Just off to the right, you can actually see Santa is taking off here on a little test flight for us this morning. Obviously, all of the proceeds here from this event go to support two great foundations. We'll talk about the Zoo Foundation a little bit later on, but tell me what's going on at the Saskatoon City Hospital Foundation.
Well, huge, 109 beds coming in, 40 are already in, and it's high acuity, and there's a lot of things happening in the next year and more here at City Hospital, and we're just thrilled. You know, it's a chance for acquired brain injury to have its own unit, and that's absolutely fantastic. And also high acuity. You know, we want to make sure that people are healthy. Patients need a place to go, and we are going to try and help out the situation, and we're very thrilled, and we're very proud to help out at Saskatoon City Hospital.
Fantastic. Well, we love to see all the work that you guys are doing, and obviously all the work has been done here, and now, well, the holiday season is upon us. It is time just to enjoy. Tonight, as Steve mentioned, is the walk night. We'll be talking about that, and then as of tomorrow, you can't walk through here anymore. It's vehicles only, and it's awesome. So, yeah, 'tis the season, Jeremy. 'Tis the season.
'Tis the season, Mike. A happy Enchanted Forest opening weekend to you and yours. We'll see you in just a little while.
Let's take a look at this school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, a warm start to the day, 13 degrees right now. We are seeing some cloud cover, the sun not fully up yet. 2 degrees, though, over in Saskatoon, so definitely cooler. Grab a jacket. By lunchtime, Regina's temperatures will be dropping down to about 6 degrees. That cloud cover is going to remain with winds up to about 45 kilometers per hour. 3 degrees by lunch in Saskatoon. Definitely seeing some gustier conditions today, winds up to about 50 kilometers per hour at that time in Saskatoon, and those winds are going to continue on to that final bell, where we're still sitting at 3 degrees in Saskatoon and 6 degrees in Regina. As we get a break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $125.9. The lowest you might find, though, is $109.9. In Saskatoon, the common price this morning, $120.9, and the lowest you might find is $114.9. On to the farm markets now. The street price of canola this morning at $588.12 per ton, and the futures price at $638.90 per ton. Amber Durham wheat currently at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $253.85 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading up, currently sitting at 71.34 cents US. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. In about 15 minutes, we're teeing up Sunday's Grey Cup.
Just about 6:30. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. The Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan is hoping the use of strychnine to manage the gopher population will be allowed again after the federal agriculture minister said he would support an emergency exemption. APAS says gophers are increasing in number, causing significant crop damage and creating burrows that can injure livestock. It's calling for strychnine to be reinstated, saying current pesticides are expensive and less effective. The product was banned for use on ground squirrels in 2023 and banned entirely last year.
We're very hopeful that before spring, which is the time to be using the product to control the gophers, that we will have that registration reinstated.
The poison stays in the system even when the animal's dead, so if it gets eaten, and if the death is an instant especially, they'll get hunted by another animal and that animal will get poisoned.
The Pest Management Regulatory Agency, part of Health Canada, would have final say on the exemption. Strychnine has long faced criticism for causing an inhumane death and for the risk it poses to non-target wildlife. Regina police have charged a 14-year-old boy with public mischief after what police say was a swatting incident. In a typical swatting incident, if you don't know, police are called under false pretenses that result in the deployment of emergency service teams like the SWAT unit to address to a specific address. This incident happened in September when police say they were told a woman was injured in a firearms-related incident at a home in the city's southwest. The tactical support unit was called in. Officers made forcible entry to search the home. A woman inside suffered minor injuries. None of the people inside matched the description, and there was no credible threat. Now, a 14-year-old who cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act has been charged, set to appear in court next month. CSIS has issued a warning that China and Russia are still targeting Canada.
Non-Arctic states, including the People's Republic of China, seek to gain a strategic and economic foothold in the region. Russia, an Arctic state with a significant military presence in the region, remains unpredictable and aggressive.
Canada's spy agency says China and Russia want sensitive government, private sector intelligence, and high-tech goods. They are seeking to gain a strategic foothold in the Arctic. CSIS has shared the information with the Inuit and territorial governments. The CSIS director also warned about the number of young people being radicalized, many of them online, adding that nearly 1 in 10 of all terrorism investigations in Canada now involve a minor. A Montreal cyclist said there should be more protection around a construction pit she fell into.
The fact that I could just ride my bike into that hole tells me that it wasn't properly secured.
Okay, stop what you're doing and look at your screen. Darlene Demchuk was riding along a shared lane when she approached the pit, and boom, there she goes. Not wanting to veer into traffic, the cyclist decided to ride through the construction area, thinking she'd ride through a puddle, but the puddle turned out to be a deep, deep hole. If only there were some sort of warning signs around it. The fall broke her nose, and Demchuk needed facial reconstruction surgery, so it's very serious. The mayor of the borough says there is now a barrier around the hole, also reminded commuters not to go through construction areas. Wayne Gretzky has now spoken out about the backlash he received for being friends with the U.S. president.
I never became an American citizen. I'm Canadian. I can't vote in the U.S. because I live in the U.S. and I'm Canadian. I can't vote in Canada because I don't live in Canada. I'm not into politics.
Great friend. In one of the 51st state comments, President Trump had suggested Gretzky become the governor of Canada. Speaking on the 100% Hockey podcast, Gretzky said he can't control what the U.S. president says. The University of Regina has made history welcoming their first Indigenous chancellor. He's former chief of Cowessess First Nation and local businessman Cadmus DeLorme. Over the last 15 years, he's held various roles at the U of R, most recently being a part of the Board of Governors. He says he plans to have a number of significant conversations on a number of topics, including normalizing reconciliation in academia.
I'm very external focused, so I get to focus on alumni, current students, donors, respectable people in this province and country. But internally, I get to sit in those meetings as well, and I can explain things that we need to shift, we need to pivot, because that's what the university is, and that's who we can be, and that's the role I want to play for the next 3 to 6 years.
DeLorme is the 10th chancellor in the university's history. The University of Saskatchewan Huskies now 2 days away from hosting their first bowl game in 20 years. The last time Griffith Stadium hosted the semi-final bowl game was in 2005 when the Huskies beat Laval 29-27. Saturday, the Huskies will go up against the Queen's Golden Gales from Kingston, Ontario for a chance to go to the Vanier Cup, which is here in Regina. Queens went 5-3 this season, the Huskies 7-1. Scott Flory, the head coach of the Huskies, remembers playing in a bowl game in Saskatoon and what it means to host.
I mean, we just get the luxury and of not being able to travel and being able to stay home and being able to prep here and, you know, beautiful sunny Griffith Stadium, right? So, you know, not having to go on the road, not having to do a bunch of those things is great. They're going to come in ready to go. I mean, we know Queens is going to be ready to play on Saturday, so it'll be a great game. I know our guys are going to be ready though too.
The 2025 Mitchell Bowl kicks off 2 o'clock from Griffiths Stadium. Well, now that's going to be tough. My wife is an alum of the U of S, got her master's degree there, but she's from Kingston, Ontario. I wonder who she's going to cheer for.
Well, send her a text.
And cheer for the refs, probably.
Yeah.
Safest way to do it, right?
Down the middle.
Safest way to do it. What's going on in the weather, Kaylee?
All right, well, still dark to start the day. We're not really going to be seeing that sunrise for about another 2 hours or so here, but temperatures in Regina at least still very nice. 13 degrees right now, 24 km/h winds, and we are seeing some clouds. Don't get too used to this temperature, though. We don't want to get attached. It is going to cool off as we make our way towards the afternoon hours, and it's already cool over in Saskatoon, 2 degrees with that cloud cover and winds coming in at 22 km/h. Those will be increasing this afternoon. All those areas lighting up in yellow, and especially the areas that are getting those patches of red, going to be seeing the highest wind gusts this afternoon, likely up to about 50 km/h. Futurecast showing that we are also seeing some precipitation down towards the south. So if you're not getting those winds, you're getting the rain or the snow today. Areas just south of Swift Current going to be seeing that snow first, and then areas south of Regina, right around Estevan, going to be seeing that rain into the early afternoon. And then just when we think that that's all going to push off, we have some more snow coming in for the southwest corner of the province as of this evening. Looking forward to Saturday morning, we see some more coming in. Again, the southwest corner going to be seeing some of that mixed precipitation. Sunday, though, looking clear from the precipitation, just seeing those clouds. Current temperatures now, we're seeing 1 degree to wake us up in Spiritwood, 4 degrees in Nipawin, 6 degrees right now in Hudson Bay, warmer down towards the south. Assiniboia right now at 14 degrees, 11 degrees in Weyburn, 6 degrees in Estevan, and 8 degrees in Yorkton. Again, though, if you are seeing those positive double-digit temperatures right now, likely not going to be seeing those stick around into the afternoon. Later on this afternoon, we'll be seeing temperatures around 9 degrees by about 9 a.m., and then about 6 degrees in Regina by 3 p.m. 3 degrees tomorrow, 4 degrees on Sunday, 3 degrees on Monday, and then we see some snow coming in for Tuesday as we reach that peak of 1 degree on Wednesday, and 0 degrees on Thursday. In Saskatoon, we're seeing that high of 3 degrees, so not really getting too much warmer than we're already seeing right now. 2 degrees tomorrow, 2 degrees on Sunday, some snow coming in for Monday, a little bit of a break from that snow on Tuesday according to our radar right now, and then 0 degrees carrying us into Wednesday and Thursday as we see a little bit more of that snow. Now, if you are getting in the car, heading out to the Grey Cup this weekend, the temperatures that we're seeing in Winnipeg, about -1 with clear skies at kickoff. By halftime, -3, feeling more like -6. So temperatures aren't going to be too bad. Could be worse. Winds going to remain low, about 20 km/h.
Canada and India have agreed to enhance partnerships in critical minerals, clean energy, aerospace, and agriculture. The development came during Canadian Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu's visit to India this month. Now, during the visit, Sidhu held the ministerial dialogue on trade and investment with his Indian counterpart on Thursday. The meeting discussed ways to strengthen bilateral trade, promote investments, and deepen cooperation. Both sides noted that bilateral trade in goods and services reached $23.66 billion in 2024. Now, the agreement is another sign relations between the two countries are improving after Ottawa accused Delhi in 2023 of being involved in the murder of a Sikh activist in Canada. A long-troubled fleet of Coast Guard patrol ships that the Canadian government paid hundreds of millions to build will be pulled from service sooner than expected. An internal document is showing this, according to the National Post. The 8 midshore vessels were supposed to last 25 years, but have only been in service for about 13. It comes as the civilian agency braces for more demands under its new surveillance mandate from Prime Minister Mark Carney, who announced in June that it would be folded into the National Defence Department. And workers are threatening to seize the car plant in Ingersoll, Ontario, and push GM Canada into a legal battle if the automaker tries to remove machinery from the site. Such a move could force GM Canada to seek legal action to remove the workers, and the union is prepared to fight the company in court. We will occupy the plant until there is a way forward, according to the union. It fears that if GM is allowed to take machinery, the plant could be mothballed. GM announced last month it was pausing production of an electric cargo van assembled at the site, forcing the layoff of more than 1,100 workers. GM Canada says it doesn't plan to remove any equipment from the plant. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's been a long while since the Saskatchewan Roughriders made it to, let alone won, a Grey Cup. They'll have another shot to do it on Sunday in Winnipeg when they face the Montreal Alouettes in the 112th Grey Cup. Let's get you excited for the big game as we welcome in Thomas Pockernick from TSN's Bar Down. Thomas, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Excited to talk Grey Cup. It should be a fun one.
Been on the ground for the last couple of days. So what's the buzz around these two teams?
There's definitely a lot of buzz. I think that's a great way to put it. I mean, Saskatchewan, there's a hunger within the organization, definitely a hunger within the fan base to capture the Grey Cup. It has been some time. And the Alouettes, I mean, they were just here 2 years ago. They got a big upset win over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So they're kind of a little bit battle-tested, and they're hungry as the underdog as well. They're looking to prove the country wrong. So, you know what? There's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and it should be a close contest on Sunday.
MGK is the halftime show. Some people tune in just for that. Why should people be excited for his set?
Yeah, it's a lot of excitement. He brings kind of a multitude of different genres to the stage. He definitely brings a lot of energy. He'll get the crowd going here in Winnipeg. And I think it's one that no matter how cold it is outside here, everyone will kind of be on their feet for it. So a lot of excitement for MGK.
We know that you are part of the Bar Down team. You do the online content thing. What are we expecting over the next couple of days as you start filing the content in there?
Yeah, it's been a crazy week here. Tuesday, we got a chance to talk to some of the players. And then Wednesday was media days. So we had everyone at their podiums, had a ton of fun stuff. One that I'll tell all the Rough Riders fans to look out for. We got to sit down with AJ Ouellette, and we took a trip down memory lane, showing him a lot of old photos of him growing up as a football player, and had a lot of fun with him on that one. And then Sunday for the game, we will be live on the TSN TikTok account for the entire game from the sidelines. So it's a very cool alternate angle to watch the game from, and you really capture a lot of the energy from the sidelines. So be sure to look out for that.
All right, Thomas, keeping in mind that you are beaming live into Rider Nation, the full province of Saskatchewan is watching you right now. What is your prediction for this game?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of pressure when you put it that way. You know what? Saskatchewan, ever since Corey Mace entered that building, entered that organization, he has really turned things around. And you could see it when the players are sitting at their podiums at media day. You can feel the energy when they walk into rooms. This team is ready. Their defense, we know how energetic they can be and how they can really take over a game. I think it's going to be maybe closer than people think, but with Rider Nation watching, I will go 27-24 for the guys in green.
Nothing like putting a guy on the spot in the heart of Bomber Nation, beaming into Rider Nation. Thank you so much for doing this, Thomas. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning. We're at Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg, Manitoba, where the Saskatchewan Roughriders are preparing to take on the Montreal Alouettes in the 112th Grey Cup. And so we're joined now by receiver Mitch Picton, Regina product, former University of Regina Ram. Just first of all, Mitch, what is sort of the energy and the excitement level like in this locker room right now?
Yeah, I mean, guys are excited. This is a fun week. We're excited to be here and have an opportunity to be playing in this game. But, you know, fully understanding that our job's not done yet, right? We wanted to get to this game, give ourselves an opportunity, but now it's time to finish the job, and guys are understanding that.
Now, it has been a long time since the Saskatchewan Roughriders have been in a Grey Cup game. Just, is there a little bit extra kind of importance to this one, knowing what's at stake for the fans at least?
Yeah, I mean, Rider Nation's incredible. We're very fortunate. We love our fans, and they love us back. We are very appreciative of you know, the support that we get. So, you know, we are a representation of this province and the people that support us. So we want to go out there, put on a good performance this week, and you know, bring that one home for the fans.
Do you have any memories of watching the Rough Riders in the Grey Cup, whether it be 2007, 09, 10, 13, obviously the last time that they last won? Just what are your kind of biggest memories as a fan watching this team?
Yeah, I definitely remember, you know, 2007. I remember watching that one, the other ones as well, 9 and 10. I was at the game in 13. That was my first year at university, so when I was playing with the Rams. But yeah, just seeing how excited the city gets and the fans are makes it pretty special. And, you know, that's a special part about playing for the Riders is, you know, having that support and that fan base. So, yeah, it's pretty special.
Does it feel a little different knowing that you're in the green and white, and the lineup's not set yet, but, you know, in the green and white playing in this game?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, anytime you have an opportunity to play in a championship game, it's a big deal. Doing it, playing for the Riders, my hometown team, is a pretty special experience and something I'm definitely going to not take for granted and, you know, enjoy this week, but, you know, get ready to go on Sunday.
What has been the message from the coaching staff this week? Has it kind of been a more business as usual approach, or are you guys trying to ramp things up a little bit?
Yeah, throughout the week, business as usual. You know, just keep doing the things that we do well, the things that have gotten us this far. So, you know, stick to doing what we do well, and you know, we should be just fine.
All right. Well, thank you, Mitch, so much for taking the time. Again, Mitch Picton, receiver, Saskatchewan Roughriders. The 112th Grey Cup is on Sunday night on CTV and on TSN.
Road to the Cup, brought to you by Regina Plumbing and Heating, official partner of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
It's November 14th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Bridget today. We hope today is a great one with lots of love from Nathan, Laura, Doug, and the pets. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Sophia for her 14th birthday today. We hope you have a great day with love from your family. Happy birthday wishes also being sent out to Rodney. We hope you have a great day. This shout out coming with lots of love from Cindy. Turning 60 years old today is Steve. Hopefully this is the best birthday yet. Lots of love from Corinne, DJ, and your family. Happy anniversary wishes going out to Peter and Sharon of Kenora. They're celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today. Lots of love and blessings from your wonderful daughters and family. Also celebrating 50 years of marriage, Jim and Kathy. Congratulations on 50 years of love and devotion to one another. Happy 12th birthday going out to Lexi today. This shout out coming from your Baba, Guido, and the rest of your family, including your fur babies. Happy 18th birthday to Abby today. Her family loves her so much, and and sent this photo with the message that read, "If you know this beautiful young lady, please wish her a happy birthday today." Also turning 1 year older today is Quinton. Happy birthday. Have a fantastic day with love from your friends and family. Turning 9 years old today is Charlie. Happy birthday. Your grandma and grandpa are cheering you on today and always and showering you with love. And looking forward to the weekend, Griffin will officially be a teenager tomorrow. Happy 13th birthday. Love from your mom, dad, and Lincoln. A big happy birthday going out to Pam on Sunday from that guy Kevin and all of your fur babies. Enjoy your weekend. And finally, we're sending a happy anniversary wish out to Blaine and Lori this weekend as they mark 13 years together. Congratulations. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. Please make sure you send those in 1 day in advance.
Got my Joe jersey on. I'm ready for the big win this weekend. We are hoping. You are an Edmonton Elks fan. Are you jumping on the Owls bandwagon or the Riders bandwagon? Or the MGK bandwagon?
I'll be on the Riders bandwagon for that one. I'll be not on no. I'm not super excited for the halftime, but no, I feel good about the Riders. I'll get a jersey going here for the next hour too. I'll come back with that for it too. Before the Rider game though, before the Grey Cup on Sunday, we got a pretty great concert coming up Saturday night in Saskatoon. Brad Paisley is going to be out there, and I have my last pair of tickets to give away here today. So we want to get some makeshift plans here for the weekend. All you have to do to win these Brad Paisley tickets, you got to use the iHeartRadio app. If you're listening to Pure Country 92.7, there's the talkback feature. So a little microphone, top right corner. You click on that. You can record messages. So we're playing Brad Libs. I need 3 random words for you. I will splice that into a Brad Paisley song, and you could be walking away with some Brad Paisley tickets for tomorrow night.
I will also accept a Gizmo jersey if that's the one that you come back with. Chase, we'll see you in an hour.
I have that at home.
Co-stars with Toni Collette, Andrea Riseborough, and Helen Mirren. Goodbye June opens in select theaters December 12th and debuts on Netflix December 24th.
One of the most remarkable aspects is that you had such different places come together as one nation.
But it wasn't easy. Ken Burns says he and his fellow filmmakers on The American Revolution worked hard to be honest to the actual story they found and not necessarily the version they and most people learned in school.
If you're willing to be disciplined, then all of a sudden you have this origin story that has a complexity to it that may address, without formally doing it, some of the things. Just we like to say today, oh, we're so divided. Well, we're not as divided as we were during the Revolution.
The American Revolution premieres Sunday on PBS stations. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The American...
You break out an aggressive blazer and tie combination like that, you get to go first in Sidebar, Jeremy.
All right, we want to start things off with a footballing father who is teaching his son to sing.
Go. Yeah.
Yes, an adorable duet. That's Josh Butler, cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, but in his downtime, he likes to sing with his newborn. This is his son, Sam. Looks like Dad has a backup singer for life.
I can't even get my daughter to do that now. Like, that's one smart baby.
She can say no, 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 no.
Yeah, she can say no when I ask her to do anything, but she can't do that.
There you go. Here's a unique take on dating.
If I were a cat, would I date this cat? Yes. This cat seems very emotionally intelligent. No. This cat seems too sleepy. You
have different types?
We have different types because I said no to the first one. He looks like pretentious, but then the next one looks, it's easily like a little orange tabby. He looks cute. He looks sweet. Like, we have different types.
The honest question
cats
is,
look pretentious to me.
Yeah, why are we even having this conversation? Who's dating the cat? We're back after this. It's Friday, November 14th.
Each of the projects that we're referring to the major projects office today
in and of itself is transformational.
Round 2 of the government's major projects includes mines, a new hydro development. What projects made the cut? Find out just ahead.
So, the city has recognized and city council has recognized the increased cost of delivering these services, and we've adjusted our budgets accordingly.
City of Regina announcing a plan to respond to the upcoming winter weather. And meet the man behind the original mask. The very first gainer, the Gopher, will join us in studio later this hour. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday.
Big weekend. We've got lots going on. Santa Claus parades in both cities, Saskatoon and Regina, and of course, big Grey Cup game.
Yeah, and we're asking you for your Grey Cup predictions. Text us 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Tell us, what do you think is going to happen on Sunday?
I'm sure it's overwhelming at this point.
No, just a few answers. So we want to hear from you.
Just a couple. Okay, please answer that. Let's get to news while she gathers those answers up. Floating LNG facilities, mines, hydro dams, and power lines. Those are among the latest round of major projects to be fast-tracked by the federal government. The Prime Minister calling it transformational.
We're starting to realize our full potential in both conventional, i.e. oil and gas, and clean energies. LNG is an essential fuel for the energy transition. LNG can help Canada build new trading relationships, especially in fast-growing markets in Asia.
So here's the list of projects that did make the cut. The Slism LNG facility, which will become Canada's second largest LNG facility. The Sussin Mine project in New Brunswick, Nickel Mine in Northern Ontario, the North Coast Transmission Line in northwestern BC, and the Nouveau Monde Graphite Mine north of Montreal. The federal government says the Major Projects Office will streamline and fast-track the regulatory approval process of these projects and help them get private sector investments. A Swedish fighter jet manufacturer said yesterday a deal on its Gripen aircraft could bring thousands of well-paying jobs to Canada. Saab confirmed it has held talks with Bombardier and other Canadian companies about its jet. This ahead of the royal visit of Sweden's King and Queen to Ottawa and Montreal next week. Jean-Pierre Beauchemin reports.
The company that makes the Gripen has told CTV News that 10,000 manufacturing and research jobs could land in Canada if Ottawa adds the Swedish fighter jet to its military fleet. The president and CEO of Saab, Mikael Johansson, confirmed he's talked with Ottawa about making Gripens in Canada. He's also met with companies including Bombardier, CAE, and IMP in Nova Scotia.
It's important for Canada to have sovereign capability in Canada to do their own upgrades, to build parts of it, to do final assembly and tests. We, as Saab, we are prepared to do that technology transfer to Canada and support that build-up.
This would be contingent, of course, on Canada adding the Gripen to its military fleet. That technology transfer could see the first Canadian-made Gripen fly off the assembly line within 3 to 5 years. It could also lead to the building of a new facility, a hub of sorts, where jets could be made not just for Canada, but other nations, including Ukraine.
It makes sense to have a big footprint in Canada together with Canadian industry. So it's absolutely a benefit for us to do that.
Canada has already committed to buying made in the U.S. F-35s with an option to scale up to 88. But Prime Minister Mark Carney ordered a review of the purchase amid growing trade tensions with the neighbors to the south. A decision on whether to have a dual fleet of F-35s and Gripens has been up in the air since. A large delegation from Sweden, led by the King and Queen of this country here, is headed to Canada next week with the aim of strengthening ties. Johansson is also making the trip, which is making a stop at Bombardier.
We are focusing quite heavily to make sure that Canada has all the information they need for the moment. And then it's up to Canada to decide.
There's no word as to just when a decision could be announced. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Stockholm.
Could get costlier for out-of-towners to visit and enjoy some of the amenities of Saskatoon. Jeremy, why?
Well, Daryl, city councilors in Saskatoon are considering higher fees for out-of-towners who use city pools, rinks, and rec centers. A committee unanimously voted to include the consideration as part of its budget deliberations at the end of the month. A report revealed a small fraction of people using Saskatoon's recreation facilities come from outside the city, even though just 5% of leisure cards from 2022 to 2024 were sold outside the city. Administration says raising fees would bump up revenue while decreasing the amount of users.
I would like to have the tax-paying residents of Saskatoon at least have first dibs to get their children, or actually adults, just enrolled into programs.
Now, the city of Regina recently implemented a 50% surcharge for out-of-towners to register in recreational programs. One Saskatoon City Councillor is panning Saskatoon's idea of a special fee to tackle homelessness. Councillor Robert Pierce, who has been critical of previous homelessness strategies, rejected how residents were recently surveyed. The survey found 63% of people would be willing to pay an extra monthly fee to address homelessness. A third of those said they would be willing to pay $5 to $9 a month. But Pierce feels his residents, which live near a 106-bed shelter, are already paying more for thefts, vandalism, and cleanup, and asking residents to pay out of pocket blurs the lines of provincial responsibility. Daryl, residents in Oxbow calling for their hospital to come back.
Yeah, they want their health care center converted back to a hospital. The 10-bed facility in the town has an emergency room, but acute care was discontinued in 1993. The beds are now used for other care. The town and surrounding RM have written to the province asking for restoration of acute care services.
So I have taken care of many different family members, and those family members, when they get displaced to other facilities, it creates a lot of havoc. And so that's what we want to see at Oxbow, is we want to see our residents being able to stay in Oxbow.
The provincial government says there is no plan to restore acute care beds at the Oxbow Health Centre. This just coming into our newsroom. Store owners are cleaning up this morning in Saskatoon after a driver smashed through their storefront. It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning on the 900 block of Central Avenue. Saskatoon police and fire responded. You can see significant damage. Police say no occupants were found in the vehicle. Crews have checked the building for possible collapse and that car for leaks. The investigation is ongoing. The city of Regina announced its plan to respond to the upcoming winter weather. It is coming, of course. More than 130 staff and contractors will use 70 pieces of heavy equipment to follow through the city's plan for snow clearing, which is based on 5 road categories from major streets to small residential side roads. A plow of the entire city will only occur when there is a single snowfall of 15 centimeters or more. City officials say the residents can help out by moving cars, and they can also clear their own sidewalks.
Over the last number of years, through the budgeting process, the city has increased our annual winter maintenance budget. So I think, if I look back to about 4 years ago, I think we were sitting around 8.7 million, whereas in 2025 we're at 11.9 million. So the city has recognized, and city council has recognized, the increased cost of delivering these services, and we've adjusted our budgets accordingly.
New this year, there will be an interactive map on the city's website where residents can track what roads are being cleared and estimated timelines. A pair of Rough Riders earned accolades from the CFL last night.
The winner is Jamarcus Hardrick, Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Jamarcus Hardrick named the 2025 CFL Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman. This is the first time in his 11-year career Hardrick has received that honor, and it comes a season after he thought his career was over after suffering a terrible season-ending injury.
It's because more than me is a most outstanding teammate, most outstanding wife, most outstanding fans, most outstanding support. I didn't do this alone. I had trainers who I shared videos with. They probably got tired of me. They told me I need to slow down. I just kept going, and just happy, man.
To the tune of only 20. Logan Ferland won the Jay Goddard Veterans Award for player who best represents the attributes of Canada's veterans. BC Lions quarterback Nathan Rourke was named Most Outstanding Canadian and Most Outstanding Player. Hardrick was a candidate for Most Outstanding Local Fill-In Weather Person.
Yeah, he's
If only
a
he hadn't
candidate.
called it, what did he call it? Did he call it Pilot Butte or Pilot Butt?
I think he called it Pilot Butt.
A lot of people had a lot of problems with Pilot Butte.
Yeah, that was a hard one. He's also just one of the most outstanding humans that I've met.
So
He's just so nice.
And so tall. He towered over you.
Yes, I was like, hey, you want to learn how to do the weather? How is it up there? It's different than down here, I'm sure.
You won't know the show, but CBC used to have one called The Friendly Giant. It was look up, look way, way up. That was you.
That was it. But congratulations, and congratulations to Ferland as well. Let's take a look at this morning view. It's brought to you by RecycleMyElectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. 10 degrees right now in Regina, but don't get used to it. We're going to be dropping down as we make our way into the afternoon hours. Winds coming in at 17 kilometers per hour right now, and we do have some clouds up in the sky. We're just waiting for that sun to come up, though. 1 degree right now in Saskatoon, so we have popped down ever so slightly. The afternoon high today is only going to be about 3 degrees, so it is going to be cooler through the central zones today. Some more warmth down towards the south. Winds in Saskatoon currently coming in at 24 kilometers per hour, and those will be increasing later on this afternoon. All those areas lighting up in yellow, Saskatoon included, going to be seeing wind gusts up to about 45 to 50 kilometers per hour, even stronger in those little patches you see that are lighting up in red between Prince Albert and Saskatoon. So definitely hang on to your hat today. Also talking about some precipitation down towards the south today. So if you're not getting the winds, you are getting the rain or snow. Just south of Swift Current, going to be seeing those flurries first. At that time, we're going to be seeing some of those raindrops over near Estevan. That's going to continue on down in the southwest into the later parts of the afternoon and into the evening tonight as well. Some more flurries on the way and continuing on tomorrow. Right as we think we're safe and clear from it, it returns. Some more rain and snow on the way for Saturday morning. Sunday, though, looking nice and clear. Today's forecast, we're seeing a high of 12 degrees in Moose Jaw. That is happening a lot sooner than we typically see it. So later on into the afternoon, it is going to be dropping down slightly. Weyburn up to 10 degrees today with that rain. Estevan with those late raindrops falling. 11 degrees will be the high. 7 degrees in Yorkton. 3 degrees through Prince Albert, and 2 degrees with those winds near the Battlefords. Now here's a look at your weekend for Regina. So today 9 degrees is the high. We're going to be seeing that later on this morning. 3 degrees on Saturday, and then 4 degrees by Sunday. In Saskatoon, 3 degrees on Friday. Again, as we mentioned, that's the high today. 2 degrees tomorrow, and then 2 degrees on Sunday. Some more flurries are on the way starting on Monday for both cities. And then your Grey Cup Sunday forecast, of course, if you're heading out to catch it in Winnipeg. -3 at kickoff. Clear skies continuing on to the end of the game. By halftime, though, we'll be sitting at -3, feeling more like -6 with that wind chill. Let's take a look at this rural forecast. We're seeing some stronger wind gusts this afternoon throughout central Saskatchewan and northern Saskatchewan. So Spiritwood with those winds up to about 1 degree today. 3 degrees for Melfort, 9 degrees for Hudson Bay with that mix of sun and cloud, and 9 degrees for Wynyard. Down towards the south, we are seeing some of that precipitation. It will be mixed, mainly down in that southwest corner, though. So Easton Cypress with a little bit of rain and snow up to 7 degrees, Maple Creek up to 4, and then some rain down through Carlisle as well as they reach that high of 9 degrees. Let's take a look at Bethune now, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 6 degrees will be the high today. Mainly cloudy skies and winds coming in up to 45 kilometers per hour.
All right, let's go back out to Mike Siona now at the BHP Enchanted Forest. And Mike, tonight, a very unique night down there, right?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's the opportunity for you to come and walk through the BHP Enchanted Forest. I'm here with Lesia Sorokan-Norman, who is the marketing chief here with all of this stuff. Tell us about tonight and the Blue Cross Walk.
Well, last night was, as you said, was our first night. And, you know, we had over almost about 10,000 people come through yesterday. Wow. So we're just, everybody come out today, put the toque on, put the mittens on, wrap up the kids, and come out again tonight for the final walk.
That's right. After that, it's vehicles only. And let's talk a little bit about where people can get their vehicle passes. Obviously, you can just drive up and pay at the gate, but if you want to save a little time.
Yeah, and a little bit of money. So at the gate, it's $35 a car pass for a family, or you can go to any Shoppers Drug Mart or Saskatoon Co-op locations, gas, food, liquor, and purchase a car pass in advance for $30.
I love that. Now, every year there's always something new, but this year there is so much more new. Let's talk about Santa's Runway first.
Oh, Santa's Runway. Everybody's enjoying it. And there was something on Instagram. Kids were in the vehicle and saying, Mom, we're on the runway. Drive fast. So they just sped right through. So it's great.
Fantastic. And then a whole bunch of new tree wraps and more lights. And for the first time in a long time, there's new sponsorship opportunities because we've got more lights.
Yeah, we have about 3 light displays and then a lot of trees that are available for sponsorship. So really, if you want to see your name next to a tree or a company's name next to a light display, get hold of me. My name's on the website, and we'll have a great conversation.
It is really cool because I know, new businesses out there that just haven't been able to get in and to crack this roster here, which is a good problem for us to have. We've seen some new trees. We've got some new stuff going on. It's all down here, and of course it supports a great cause and all of the holiday spirit and revelry of the season wrapped up here at the BHP Enchanted Forest.
Great, Mike. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing a little bit more a little later on.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And forward, we head to European World Cup qualifiers where France was facing Ukraine. 41st minute, Bradley Barcola curls one on net. And Anatoly Trubin gets his fingertips on it to push it off the post, just getting enough of the ball to make a save at full extension. Very nice save, earns Trubin the must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up this Sunday on both CTV and TSN, it is the 112th Grey Cup. It's the Saskatchewan Roughriders taking on the Montreal Alouettes. Our countdown to kickoff goes Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Producer Nathan loves robot content, so here we go. A Russian tech company unveiled the country's first humanoid robot powered by AI, and its debut was, let's call it a knockout. So they're playing this theme song to Rocky. The robot's supposed to march out on stage and do some stuff, but stumbled, fell over.
They're bringing the curtain out, like, hide it, hide it.
How does this happen?
Hide it.
Like, are you... You got to be sure.
Yeah.
It's what it deserves.
It is what it deserves.
We hate robots on this show.
A robot. See that robot right there, Jeremy? That robot's coming for your. That robot's coming for your job right there. And then, thankfully,
well, I'm not worried about this one.
Yeah, this one is not going to be taking our job. Imagine that robot in the Weather Center just like flopping over.
In Weyburn, it's going to be.
Yeah, and then any person that complains about me is going to be like, bring Kayleen back?
Question mark?
Yeah.
Question of the day is about Grey Cup predictions, of course, because it is Grey Cup weekend.
Yeah, Grey Cup weekend. We don't have a ton of answers quite yet. We did have Heather on X saying Riders 28, Montreal 25. Let's go Riders. Margie saying Riders 36, Alouettes 22. So obviously a little bias here. We want the Riders to win, but both predictions saying that. Gary saying Riders will win by 14. Ropestelli and Myers will have a huge part in the win. And he'd also like to say a big congratulations to Jamarcus Hardrake and Logan Furland on their individual wins.
Got very specific. We like that. So you can get your answer in how, Kayleen?
Well, you can text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or you can also scan that QR code on your screen. Make sure you tell us your name, too, and it doesn't have to just be the score predictions. Tell us anything else fun you think might happen at the Grey Cup game.
Time for your Friday morning mystery. We are told it is a thing. 3 clues. We're going to try to guess the right answer. Clue number 1. Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt, supposedly credited her health and good looks to her love of this food. Clue 2, the phrase "in a blank" was first introduced by Shakespeare in the play The Tempest. And clue number 3, the term comes from the Dutch word pekkel. The answer is...
Oh, come on. Jeez.
I was actually going to say a different answer.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say peanuts because in a clue, like in a nutshell, is where I was kind of going. So I thought peanuts, but then the last clue kind of,
Today it is pickle. Why? Because today is National Pickle Day.
Yum.
Yay.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
This school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, a warm start to the day. It's just not going to stick around. 10 degrees right now with that cloud cover, 6 degrees at lunch, and then 6 degrees at final bell. In Saskatoon, 1 degree right now. Definitely grab a jacket. 3 degrees at lunch. We're going to be seeing some varying levels of cloud cover, a little bit more at that lunchtime hour, with wind gusts up to about 50 kilometers per hour. So it is going to be a windy day. 3 degrees by final bell. A few less of those clouds at that 3 o'clock hour, but winds still coming in up to 50 kilometers per hour. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $125.9. Lowest you might find is $109.9. The common price in Saskatoon, $120.9, and the lowest you might find $114.9. Let's turn our attention to the farm markets now. The street price of canola is at $588.12. The futures price at $638.90 per ton. Amber Durum wheat at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat this morning at $253.85 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is trading up this morning, currently at 71.34 cents US. Coming up, Wayne Gretzky speaks out about his relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump. That story and more after the break.
Welcome to your morning. It is just about 7:30, and this is a weekend that was circled on every Canadian football fan's calendar. It's almost here. That's right. It is a Grey Cup weekend, and the fans are getting pumped up. Daniel Halmerson with more.
Grey Cup weekend in Winnipeg is here, and die-hard CFL fans are showing up in droves.
Go, Riders, go!
While the big game between Saskatchewan and Montreal goes Sunday, there's plenty happening beforehand.
To be able to now invite everybody here, witness our fan base firsthand, and really experience kind of what the Winnipeg CFL market's all about is really special. I'm really excited.
The party starts right at the airport with a group of volunteers putting the friendly in friendly Manitoba, welcoming football fans coming from out of town.
We're feeling just great. Yeah, so for me, it's my 52nd, and Sandy, I guess it's about 30 or 35th Grey Cup game, and the weather's going to be -5, -6, sunny.
The convention center's the place to be for live concerts, team party rooms, and even a chance to catch up with some CFL stars.
See how much fun this actually is, though, to see how much fun that people actually have. You know, I've never seen this side of it. You know, I'm always hyper-focused. Like I said, I've been blessed to be able to play in 5 Grey Cups. Never seen this part of the Grey Cup.
And over at the University of Winnipeg is a free festival with plenty of fun lined up for the whole family.
Go inside and you've got the TELUS CFL fan experience, which is kind of combine-style drills, so you can really test your skills to see if you'd make it in the CFL.
And while some fans have a little more stake in Sunday's championship showdown, they all agree this weekend comes down to a love of the game.
The fact that you can go anywhere and somebody might be rooting for a specific team, but they're all CFL fans.
Just relax and just experience it, because there's a lot going on and everyone's here to have a good time. Doesn't matter what their team colors are.
Well, the Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan is hoping the use of strychnine will be manage the gopher population will be allowed again after the federal agriculture minister said he would support an emergency exemption. APAS says gophers are increasing in number, causing significant damage to crops and creating burrows that can injure livestock. It's calling for strychnine to be reinstated, calling for current pesticides. They're expensive and they're less effective in their view. The product was banned for use on ground squirrels in 2023 and banned entirely last year. But last month, the federal agriculture minister said he would support producers or provinces that apply for an emergency exemption to use the product. But strychnine has long faced criticism for causing inhumane death and its risk to non-target wildlife.
We're very hopeful that before spring, which is the time to be using the product to control the gophers, that we will have that registration reinstated.
The poison stays in the system even when the animal's dead, so if it gets eaten, and if the death is an instant especially, they'll get hunted by another animal and that animal will get poisoned.
The Pest Management Regulatory Agency, part of Health Canada, would have final say on any exemption. Regina police have charged a 14-year-old boy with public mischief after what police say was a swatting incident. If you're asking what swatting is, well, it is when police are called under false pretenses that result in the deployment of emergency service teams like the SWAT team to a specific address. This incident we're talking about here happened in September. Police were told a woman was injured in a firearms-related incident in a home in the city's southwest. The tactical support unit was called in. Officers made a forcible entry. The woman inside suffered minor injuries. None of the people inside matched the description, and there was no credible threat. Now, a 14-year-old has been charged and is set to appear in court next month. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says it has wrapped its active operations at the BC Ostrich Farm, where more than 300 birds were culled last week. The agency says the remains of the ostriches have been disposed of through deep burial at a BC landfill. The farm in the community of Edgewood remains under quarantine. The cull was ordered nearly a year ago because of an avian flu outbreak and made headlines around the world during a lengthy legal battle that ended when the Supreme Court denied the farm's appeal to save the flock. Professional marksmen were used for the cull. Critics called it inhumane. The United States is planning to remove tariffs on some food and other imports from Argentina, Ecuador, Guatemala, and El Salvador. The Trump administration says the move is aimed at lowering prices for coffee, bananas, and other food for American consumers. Framework deals could be finalized within the next 2 weeks, with additional agreements possible before the end of the year. The New York Times is reporting that the Trump administration is also considering lowering tariffs on other food products, such as beef, to help ease prices. A Montreal cyclist says there should have been more protection around a construction pit she fell into.
The fact that I could just ride my bike into that hole tells me that it wasn't properly secured.
Take a look at your screen. Darlene Demchuk, you be the judge, riding along a shared lane when she approached the pitch, not wanting to veer into traffic. The cyclist deemed the right thing to do was to ride into the pit there, and there was more than just a puddle. Smashed her face all up, broke her nose. Demchuk needed facial reconstruction surgery. The mayor says the barrier is now up around the hole. We're also reminded commuters not to go through construction areas. Surprise, surprise. Saskatchewan's building, energy, and government sectors converged in the Queen City on Thursday to tackle the province's decarbonization challenge.
And really, if we can make progress in Saskatchewan, we can make progress anywhere in the country. Citizens will understand that we've had football games being cancelled just because of wildfire smokes. These are direct impact that people face, and these are some of the solutions we think we can start to, for problems we can start to find solutions to over the coming years.
The conference focused largely on how to reduce the province's carbon footprint with solutions such as geothermal energy. The University of Regina made history welcoming their first Indigenous chancellor. He's former chief of Cowessess First Nation and local businessman Cadmus Delorme. Over the past 15 years, he's held various roles at the U, most recently being part of the Board of Governors.
I'm very external focused, so I get to focus on alumni, current students, donors, respectable people in this province and country. But internally, I get to sit in those meetings as well and I can explain things that we need to shift, we need to pivot, because that's what the university is, and that's who we can be, and that's the role I want to play for the next 3 to 6 years.
Lorma's the 10th chancellor in university history. We turn our attention over to the weather picture and join Kayleen Sawatsky. Good morning.
Good morning, and it is a good morning if you're waking up with us in Regina. At least we're seeing some pretty nice temperatures to start the day. We're at 10 degrees right now, but that is dropped down from when we were at 13 degrees just a few minutes ago. Well, that is going to continue to trend down as we make our way into those afternoon hours. 1 degree right now in Saskatoon, some winds coming in at 24 kilometers per hour. Those winds are going to be increasing this afternoon. Saskatoon could be seeing those gusts up to about 50 kilometers per hour, about 40 kilometers per hour down in Regina. And down towards the south, if you're not seeing the high winds, you are going to be seeing the precipitation today. That also going to be falling, all that snow up in the north, as well as you can see at the top of your screen there. But this afternoon, seeing some flurries down just south of Swift Current there, and areas around Estevan going to be seeing that rainfall. In the evening hours today, we're also going to be seeing some more of those flurries falling down in that southwest corner. And as we continue on to look into tomorrow morning, some a wintry mix on the way for Swift Current in areas just south of it as well. Sunday, though, looking clear. Current temperatures, we're seeing 0 degrees in Spiritwood, 2 degrees in Prince Albert, and 9 degrees in Hudson Bay right now. -1 to wake us up in Kindersley, 9 degrees over in Yorkton right now, 11 degrees in Weyburn, and 12 degrees in Assiniboia. Now, later on this afternoon, with that rain, we're seeing temperatures falling on this screen here. So although we were predicting about 12 degrees just a few minutes ago for Moose Jaw, now it's saying 8 degrees. And that is because we're seeing that trend this morning of seeing warmer temperatures in the morning and then falling by the afternoon. Right now we're seeing about 9 degrees expected for Regina, but again, by about 3 p.m. it could fall down to about 6 degrees. Estevan up to about 11 and Weyburn up to 12. Now, as you can see, tomorrow going to be a bit cooler, so 3 degrees tomorrow, 4 degrees on Sunday, 3 degrees on Monday, and then some more snow on the way on Tuesday as we reach that afternoon high of 1 degree. 3 degrees for Saskatoon today, 2 degrees on Saturday, 2 degrees on Sunday with a few more clouds, 3 degrees on Monday with those flurries, and then 0 degrees on Tuesday. But if you are heading out to Winnipeg for that Grey Cup Sunday game, here's your forecast. So -1 at kickoff, clear skies going to carry us all the way from kickoff to the end of the game. Winds going to remain low between 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. Halftime, though, sitting at -3, feeling more like -6. And then at the end of the game, about -7 degrees.
It's Chase from Pure Country Mornings back again to count down this week's top 5. We got 2 new to the countdown. Starting us off, we have Nate Holler and it's Neil Towns with Backfire. Also new to the countdown, Josh Ross, Hate How You Look is number 4. Jordan Davis down another spot this week. He'll land at 3 with Bar None. Luke Combs moving closer and closer to that top spot. Back in the Saddle is this week's runner-up. And no change at number 1, 3 weeks in a row. It's Morgan Wallen and I Got Better. Thanks for counting down this week's top 5 with us. Catch all of these and the rest of your favorites with Pure Country 92.7. You can always find us on the free iHeartRadio app.
Is the absolute final deadline in the Hospitals of Regina Foundation Home Lottery. Bonnie Monteith is in studio with us right now for the details of what you could win and why this lottery is so important to the community. Welcome to the studio and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So let's start by talking about that grand prize show home. I've seen pictures and videos. It looks amazing.
It is. It's incredible, and it's our highest valued grand prize that we've had so far. It's worth $1.7 million. It's 4,400 square feet. It's got 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, something for everyone. But there's a lot of great features, including a split staircase that goes to 2 different wings of the house. It's got a fully equipped home theater and so many more features. It's absolutely stunning.
Absolutely, and we have some video right now on our screen so our viewers can take a look. Beautiful, but this also benefits the community. As we know, how do the proceeds from this lottery benefit the Hospitals of Regina Foundation?
Absolutely, it's a very important endeavor for us, and some of the proceeds will go towards our programs in cardiac care, as well as our pediatric programs. We have a number of investments that we wanted to make in cancer care, as well as medical imaging. So the proceeds are extremely important from this, and we're really excited that we're hoping to sell out.
And as we just mentioned, tonight is the absolute final deadline. If people do head on over to the website, grab their tickets before midnight, what else could they win?
Well, our 50-50 is up to over $1 million, and we think it's going to be climbing even higher than that by midnight tonight. There's also other prizes such as a fire bowl, there's a trip, there's a television, and there's thousands of dollars worth of gift cards. So there's over 300 more prizes people can win.
All right, and that 50-50, as you mentioned, that's always very popular. You said that's over $1 million right now?
It's over $1 million, so we're super excited.
All right, so you can grab your tickets and your 50-50 tickets. Don't forget about that. That would be a pretty sweet payday. How can people get their tickets, though?
I think the best way is to go online to hrfhomelottery.com, and there you can quickly buy your tickets, and including your add-ons for the 50-50 in our cash calendar.
All right, we only have about 30 seconds left, but do you have any final messages to the community about why you think they should support this?
Just want to say thank you very much. We are so grateful to the community for always supporting our lottery, and this one is equally important as the needs grow in our community. So just want to entice people to get their tickets as soon as possible. The deadline is midnight tonight, and you could win over $1 million plus a grand prize show home.
All right, we can never say it too many times. Bonnie just said it. The deadline, midnight tonight. So many amazing prizes that you could win, including being entered to win that grand prize show home. Head on over to their website, hrfhomelottery.com, to grab your tickets.
Here's what's happening in our community. A tea and bake sale happens Friday, November 14th at 2 p.m. out in Sturgis at the Grace United Church. Holiday market happening Saturday, November 15th, 10 to 4 p.m. 4720 Castle Road. Admission is free. Santa's Workshop Craft and Trade Show Saturday, November 15th starts at 10:30 a.m. Online bake sale pre-order November 16th. Pickup December 13th, Lakeview United Church. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, but please do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
You know Don Hewitt as a renowned local sports broadcaster and commentator, but he was also at one point the very first gainer of the Gopher. We're going to get his insights on the Grey Cup this morning and his time behind the mask. Don, thanks for doing this. Welcome back to the studio.
Yeah, the head, I guess.
The head, yeah, exactly. What was it like in those early days being the first mascot for this team?
Well, in 1977, Gord Staceyson asked me the day before the first Rider game to run out onto the field in a Gopher suit. And I ran out there to absolute silence. The PA announcer announced my arrival, I guess, in the suit. Walked out, nothing. So you started at square one, absolutely. And then I did it for the first 3 years, 77, 78, 79. I brought Dave Ash aboard about 3 or 4 games into the 77 season to help me because the suit, which was made in California, was so heavy. They didn't have the fabrics in the 70s like they do now, the lighter fabrics. You just sweat like a horse in that suit. You're so hot.
I bet.
And I asked Dave about 3 or 4 games in, can you do the third quarter? I'll do the first, second, and fourth. But it was a lot of fun and great memories. So there was no Jumbotron. So you didn't have any competition to try to get attention, really, between plays. It was sort of you in the suit. And I got some great training from a guy that did Ralph the Dog, and I got some great training from the guy that did the San Diego Chicken.
Okay.
And they showed me and taught me how to do it, how to get the attention of the crowd, how to maneuver, how to position yourself, and what to do. So all I did, I wasn't that smart myself, All I did was copy what they told me to do. And they knew what they were doing.
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, right? And it is really an art form. I was Rampage, the Ram for the U of R one time because I had to check it off. I had to check it off my list, and it is so much fun.
Yeah.
What about the game? The Gophers over in Winnipeg right now, taking on the Montreal Alouettes.
Oh, what classic elements. So you've got the two best defenses in the league. And I looked at net offense allowed, yards-wise, by the two defenses. They were 4 yards apart. Montreal slightly better against the pass. Saskatchewan slightly better against the run. But the two best defenses and so close. So you look at the storyline of the two quarterbacks. The undefeated, brash, cocky young quarterback, 13-0 as a starter, I believe, against the grizzled veteran who's never won a Grey Cup as a starter. That's a great storyline. We've never beaten, if I can say we, working the Riders, never beaten Montreal in a Grey Cup. And, you know, the 2009 too many men means nothing to the team now. They weren't here, they don't know anything about it. But to us fans, remember 2009, we want revenge, folks. We want revenge for particularly 2009. And it's time Saskatchewan beats Montreal in a Grey Cup. And so there's so many storylines. And, of course, the two head coaches, second year in a row, they've gone head-to-head for Coach of the Year today. I believe it's later today, is it not, DR? That of course. I believe Corey Mace will win it this time, so it'll be 1-1. And another unique issue going on with this team is just how the bond between the coaches and their players on both sides. I mean, we saw what Corey Mace did in the Western Final. He had so much confidence in his defense to go 2 and out twice.
Yeah.
You know, the faith that he shows in his players is amazing. There's such chemistry there with Corey Mace and his players. And when Jason Moss was here in Saskatchewan as the offensive coordinator, players loved him.
Of course they did. Don, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the insights and the stories. And you can read more about it right now on our website.
It's November 14th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Bridget today. We hope today is a great one with lots of love from Nathan, Laura, Doug, and the pets. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Sophia for her 14th birthday today. We hope you have a great day with love from your family. Happy birthday wishes also being sent out to Rodney. We hope you have a great day. This shout out coming with lots of love from Cindy. Turning 60 years old today is Steve. Hopefully this is the best birthday yet. Lots of love from Corinne, DJ, and your family. Happy anniversary wishes going out to Peter and Sharon of Kenora. They're celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today. Lots of love and blessings from your wonderful daughters and family. Also celebrating 50 years of marriage, Jim and Kathy. Congratulations on 50 years of love and devotion to one another. Happy 12th birthday going out to Lexi today. This shout out coming from your Baba, Guido, and the rest of your family, including your fur babies. Happy 18th birthday to Abby today. Her family loves her so much and sent this photo with the message that read, if you know this beautiful young lady, please wish her a happy birthday today. Also turning 1 year older today is Quinton. Happy birthday. Have a fantastic day with love from your friends and family. Turning 9 years old today is Charlie. Happy birthday. Your grandma and grandpa are cheering you on today and always and showering you with love. And looking forward to the weekend, Griffin will officially be a teenager tomorrow. Happy 13th birthday. Love from your mom, dad, and Lincoln. A big happy birthday going out to Pam on Sunday from that guy Kevin and all of your fur babies. Enjoy your weekend. And finally, we're sending a happy anniversary wish out to Blaine and Lori this weekend as they mark 13 years together. Congratulations. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to yourmorningsaskatchewan at ctv.ca. Please make sure you send those in 1 day in advance.
All right, Chase, let's see the jersey. What's on the back of it? Is that the Reclaws one?
It is the Reclaws one.
Peeled it off the wall, did you?
Oh, yeah. You know what? It was this was the only. There's two jerseys in this station. The Reclaws one, and then there's another one that's in glass. So I would have had to smash through that one to get, and it's not even green. So like, this was
in case of emergency.
This was the easier
smash
option.
glass. What's going on the radio?
We'll be taping up some hands probably after smashing some glass later today. We want to get you all set. I know this weekend is a busy one. Brad Paisley tomorrow. You got the Grey Cup on Sunday, but sometime throughout the weekend or today, we need you to head to PureCountry927.ca because coming up on Monday and for the next 2 weeks after that, we are going to start calling out names and someone is winning their way to Boots on the Beach. So we are off to Mazatlan in Mexico. Dean Brody a part of that trip as well, and you could be there too. So enter at PureCountry927.ca, and then starting Monday at 7 a.m., then 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. We'll call out 2 names, and then it is a race to see who calls in first out of those 2 people. And if you're the fastest on the draw, you are getting qualified, and you could be flying out end of January with us.
Globes announced they'll honor Sarah Jessica Parker. The Sex and the City star will receive the Carol Burnett Award that recognizes her outstanding contributions to the television industry. Parker will be honored on the first ever Golden Eve primetime special that airs on January 8th, 3 days ahead of the actual Golden Globe Awards.
What should you do, Heathcliff? If you were rich.
A new trailer for Wuthering Heights is now out, an upcoming adaptation of the classic romance starring Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. The movie also features a score from pop star Charlie XCX. Look for Wuthering Heights to hit theaters on Valentine's Day. The Weeknd now says he's donating $350,000 to hurricane relief efforts in the Caribbean. It comes after Hurricane Melissa battered the region, particularly Jamaica, at the end of October. And happy birthday to Patrick Warburton, known for his iconic deep voice and as Elaine's on-again, off-again boyfriend, David Puddy on Seinfeld. Warburton is 61. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Have you ever wondered how cats date?
No.
If I were a cat, would I date this cat? Yes, this cat seems very emotionally intelligent. No.
I haven't wondered either. This is Max, and he, quote-unquote, hilariously decides which cat he would date if he were a cat.
Okay, but like not specific to dating, but I feel like people give their pets personalities,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
They impose personalities on them.
Absolutely. Time out. We're back after this. It's Friday, November 14th.
We used to build in this country, and we are building our nation again.
The Prime Minister reveals his second wave of major infrastructure projects.
It makes sense to have a big footprint in Canada together with Canadian industry.
A Swedish fighter jet maker says he can bring 10,000 jobs to Canada.
They're going to come in ready to go. I mean, we know Queens is going to be ready to play on Saturday, so it'll be a great game. I know our guys are going to be ready, though, too.
University of Saskatchewan Huskies 2 days away from hosting their first bowl game in 20 years. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday. Friday before a Grey Cup, nonetheless.
There's going to be a lot of people calling in sick on Monday, I think.
Yeah.
Especially if the game goes a certain way. Man, the city of Regina is already talking about winter snow removal.
Yeah, and you know what? As they should. There is snow in the 7-day forecast.
Snow in the north, too. My goodness. You in the grocery store would be tough, right?
No.
Where's the weather?
Okay, people hate me for it. Yeah. I love snow. I love Christmas. So I see it in the forecast, and I say, come on.
Let's go. All right. Let's get to weather in just a minute. First, let's talk about those major projects. Floating LNG facilities, mines, hydro dams, and power lines. Just some of the projects being fast-tracked by the federal government. Prime Minister Mark Carney calling it all transformational.
We're starting to realize our full potential in both conventional, i.e. oil and gas, and clean energies. LNG is an essential fuel for the energy transition. LNG can help Canada build new trading relationships, especially in fast-growing markets in Asia.
The The federal government says the Major Projects Office will streamline and fast-track the regulatory approval of these projects and help them get private sector investments. Swedish company Saab says it could bring 10,000 jobs to our country.
It's important for Canada to have sovereign capability in Canada to do their own upgrades, to build parts of it, to do final assembly and tests. We, as Saab, we are prepared to do that technology transfer to Canada. Yes, important.
Saab is the maker of the Gripen fighter jet. The CEO says there have been talks with Ottawa about manufacturing the jet here, but that's only if Canada adds the Gripen to its military fleet. A rural Saskatchewan community is fighting for the restoration of acute care beds in the town. Wayne Mantika reports.
It has been over 3 decades since Oxbow lost its acute care beds. Now the town of 1,300 has met with the government asking for restoration of acute care.
So I have taken care of many different family members, and those family members, when they get displaced to other facilities, it creates a lot of havoc. And so that's what we want to see at Oxbow, is we want to see our residents being able to stay in Oxbow.
More recently, the government brought the Oxbow and Gainsborough health centers under one administrator. The NDP is concerned about the direction being taken.
Mr. Speaker, Pamela Bartlett from the Oxbow area is here advocating for change in healthcare. This Sask Party government is standing by their decision to have one manager split between 2 facilities 50 kilometers apart. And right now, neither facility has an administrator at all.
The government says fewer healthcare managers is part of a plan.
We're going to continue looking for more administrative savings so that we can have more people on the front line putting patients first, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
As for restoring acute care in Oxbow, the government has responded by letter saying there is no plan to do that. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
There's a route open for some store owners in your community this morning, Jeremy.
Yeah, store owners cleaning up after a driver smashed through their storefront. Happened just before 2 o'clock this morning in the 900 block of Central Avenue. Saskatoon Police and Fire responded. You can see significant damage. Police say no occupants were found in the vehicle. Crews have checked the building for possible collapse and the car for leaks. The investigation is ongoing. Well, not many people from outside of Saskatoon use city pools, rinks, and rec centers, but that's not stopping the city from exploring charging out-of-towners more to use the city facilities. Keenan Sorokhan reports.
Swimming lessons, a skate at the rink, or a monthly pass to a city gym could cost you more if you don't live in Saskatoon.
I would like to have the tax-paying residents of Saskatoon at least have first dibs to get their children, or actually adults, just enrolled into programs.
Councillor Bev Dubois brought forward the idea last month. A report from administration shows 5% of leisure card holders are from out of town. Raising prices for people outside the city would alienate some, but could still bring in additional revenue.
At the end of the day, it does end up being quite a bit of money.
There's a number of ways the city could create a user fee for non-residents, like rental fees, user groups, certain programs, or funding agreements. The city could also look at increasing daily charges, but administration isn't warm to the idea.
Administration would not recommend a non-resident surcharge for daily admissions.
Administration doesn't want to risk reducing traffic at leisure centers to chase after $10,000 or $15,000 in revenue. Regina recently implemented a 50% surcharge for non-residents for leisure programs like swimming lessons or art programs. And now City Council will explore a similar type of charge at budget deliberations in less than 2 weeks, which could go into effect as early as next fall. Keenan Sorokhan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, Regina Police have set up shop in Regina's main downtown mall.
Yeah, they're going to be in the Cornwall Centre, but no investigations held out or carried out there. With more on it, here's Damian Smith.
A new Regina Police Service office is now open in Regina's Cornwall Centre.
The security guards and our downtown safety team have a really strong partnership and working relationship, so I think that this office will just help increase that.
Going forward, security guards won't be the only type of protection inside, with the first hub office in the province as a way to have a stronger police presence in both the mall and the surrounding downtown. A vacant space for 2 years now, the centre brought up the idea of this office to the police last year.
What we saw was gaps in coverage in years prior, historically, because it was taking members of the downtown safety team and the AROs out of the downtown core to have to go and work on the clerical type things, all back over to the police station.
Currently, RPS says 27 officers are dedicated to the downtown area, while the Cornwall Centre uses up to 10 security guards at a time. The existing presence, plus the heavy foot traffic in the mall, making it the ideal place for a satellite office.
I mean, RPS has been tracking especially since the launch of the ARO program. I mean, statistics and data is how we measure that success, and it won't look any different than that for us. And so we'll take the historical data that we have and start to see what that looks like and how the needle shifts, post-opening of this police office.
We know that increased police visibility leads to perceptions of safety increasing. So I think anything that we can do to increase our presence and visibility in downtown, I think will be well received by the community.
The office will be considered a hub where officers can do their work, but police say the main headquarters right down the street is the recommended place to report potential outside crimes. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
City of Regina has announced its plan to respond to snowy weather. Winter is, of course, coming. More than 130 staff and contractors will use 70 pieces of heavy equipment throughout the winter to follow through with the city's snow clearing plan, which is based on 5 road categories, from major roads and routes to small residential streets. A plow of the entire city will only occur when there's been a single snowfall of 15 centimeters or more.
Over the last number of years, through the budgeting process, the city has increased our annual winter maintenance budget. So I think, if I look back to about 4 years ago, I think we were sitting around 8.7 million, whereas in 2025 we're at 11.9 million. So the city has recognized, and City Council has recognized, the increased cost of delivering these services, and we've adjusted our budgets accordingly.
Now, there is going to be an interactive map where you can track these pieces of equipment as well. Researchers have developed the first new type of malarial treatment in 25 years. New drugs are needed because parasites learn to adapt to older treatments. Testing so far shows the drug not only works well against malaria, it is also effective in slowing its spread. The next step is applying for regulatory approval. A pair of Rough Riders earned accolades from the CFL last night.
The winner is Jamarcus Hardrick, Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Jamarcus Hardrick, also known as Yoshi, named the 2025 CFL Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman in his first time since his 11-year career began. Hardrick has received the honor. Now, it comes in a season after one where he thought his career might be over.
It's because more than me is a most outstanding teammate, most outstanding wife, most outstanding fans, most outstanding support. I didn't do this alone. I had trainers who I shared videos with. They probably got tired of me. They told me I need to slow down. I just kept going, and just happy, man.
To the tune of only 20.
Logan Ferland won the Jake Goddard Veterans Award for the player who best represents the attributes of Canada's veterans. As expected, BC Lions quarterback Nathan Rourke was named the most outstanding Canadian and the most outstanding player. Our most outstanding player is standing in the Weather Center with the number 25 jersey. Good morning, Kayleen.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm honored. Let's take a look at this morning view. It's brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. Temperatures have been dropping this morning. We saw them at 13 degrees just about 2 hours ago. Now we're at 7 degrees. Winds coming in at 28 kilometers per hour and some clouds up in the sky. With that sun, it's trying to poke through now that it is coming up. 1 degree in Saskatoon. That is also down, but barely from what we were seeing just a few minutes ago. So we were at 2 degrees, now at 1. The high today only really going to be 3 degrees, so we're not seeing too much of a difference from what we're seeing out there right now. We are going to be seeing the winds going up in Saskatoon this afternoon, though, up to about 50 kilometers per hour. Not quite as strong for Regina, about 40 kilometers per hour. Throughout the central zone today, that's where we're seeing those winds peaking. Also seeing some precipitation down towards the south, so although they're not seeing the high winds, they are seeing some snow and some rain. Areas right around that U.S. border, they're going to be seeing most of those flurries this afternoon earlier on. And then Estevan also going to be seeing that rainfall. Into the evening hours and overnight, we do see the snow kind of coming and going. It doesn't really seem to make up its mind too much. It seems to be trying to push off late into the evening, but then it returns for Saturday morning with that wintry mix there. You see the greens, the little bit of pink there, meaning that sleet, and then also seeing those flurries. At least we're not seeing those to the east, where people are going to be hitting the roads off to Winnipeg for that Grey Cup game. -2 right now to wake us up in Buffalo Narrows, 3 degrees in Nipawin, 7 degrees in Hudson Bay, and 1 degree down in Melfort. Down towards the south now, we're seeing 3 degrees in East End, 8 degrees in Assiniboia, and 8 degrees in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, these temperatures on your screen have been dropping quite a bit throughout the morning. It was only about an hour and a half ago that this was saying that it was going to be about 12 degrees in Moose Jaw. Now it's saying 6 degrees, and that is because we're seeing the warmest temperatures earlier on this morning. Cooler temperatures throughout the afternoon. 13 degrees, though, for Estevan, 8 degrees for Yorkton, and 2 degrees for Prince Albert. Let's take a look now at the 7-day forecast, because on the top of the show here, we said that we do have some snow in the 7-day forecast. For Regina, that means on Tuesday, could be starting late overnight on Monday. We were originally projecting it to continue on into Wednesday. Now it does seem like we are going to be getting a break on Wednesday from those flurries. In Saskatoon, though, we're seeing them on Monday, getting a break from those flurries on Tuesday, and then now showing that we're going to be getting some more of those flurries on Wednesday and Thursday.
Take you all the way back to November 14th, 1938. That's when the Lions Gate Bridge officially opened to traffic in Vancouver. November 14th, 1991, Nellie Cornway was sworn in as government leader of the Northwest Territories, becoming the first woman to lead a Canadian territory. And November 14th, 2011, the Bank of Canada started circulating a new $100 bill made of polymer.
Members of Saskatoon's philanthropic community were honored yesterday over the noon hour. It was the 2025 National Philanthropy Day Luncheon, honoring youth and community members making a difference. Chantel Saunders and I were honored to MC the event. Each year, the day recognizes people who raise money, volunteer, and support local charities and nonprofit organizations. And this year, the event actually featured a special youth panel who shared how they became philanthropists and what inspires them to give back to their community. Every year, it is an inspiring and hope-filled, it's just a great event to see all these people who have dedicated so much to give back to their communities. So we're honored to be a part of it.
I liked that they kept you guys socially distanced. You each had your own podium, your own world. Don't step into mine.
Well, no, we were off to the side so that the people getting honored were the focus. Come on.
We don't want people to think that there's a showbiz spat.
Goodness, yeah. Hey, question of the day. We're talking about your Grey Cup predictions right now. We've got a few more came into the box, and the first one's really funny. I like
the first one's funny, but hey,
probably true though.
Maybe we'll have to cover our children's eyes at one point during this game. Joe thinks that someone's going to streak across the field and going to be tackled. I mean, it would be entertaining. I'm not encouraging it.
Knowing Winnipeg, that could happen. Well, they won't show it on TV if it does, though.
Yeah. Donna saying Riders all the way will be a close one, though. Intense, but we will win. Score 27-24 is Donna's prediction. Not a bad one there. Julia is saying Riders 21, Alouettes 11. Let's go Riders. Another one coming in here. We had Lori saying the Riders are going to win. I predict it will be a very close game, though, and that's kind of what all the answers are saying. It's going to be a tough matchup.
I predict fans are going to pan MGK because it's the hardest job in all of show business.
Can either of you name an MGK song? I'm actually curious.
Cliche. I kind of want to learn the dance.
All right.
Learn the dance.
We can do that after the show, Daryl.
Do you want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, boy. I can't wait to see it.
Heather saying Riders 28, Montreal 25. Margie saying Riders 36, Alouettes 22. And Gary saying Riders will win by 14. And he also ended off by saying a big congratulations to Jamarcus Hardrick and Logan Furland on their individual wins. Another huge congrats.
Yeah.
It's become a way to fill time, and sometimes a person doesn't even realize how much time they're spending on a device.
Unfortunately, doom scrolling has become a very common and unhealthy practice in our society.
Psychologist Adam Borland with Cleveland Clinic says constantly looking at disturbing and anxiety-provoking material on social media takes a toll on mental health. Too much exposure can fuel stress and lead to increased anxiety, low mood, sleep disturbances, irritability, and it can even create problems at home or work.
Oftentimes, people complain about losing long periods of time scrolling through their phone because it becomes addictive.
To stop yourself from doom scrolling, Borland says to start with mindfulness, focus on the present moment, establish healthy boundaries on when and when not to use devices, monitor which sites you follow and how they affect your mood, stress, and anxiety levels. He says it may be time to unfollow some of those accounts, have a support system of people that can help during a hard time, and finally, put the device down. Instead, fill your time with exercising, getting outdoors, or engaging in something creative.
It's important for people to remember that they have a choice in all of this. They have a choice as to how much upsetting content they're accessing. And when they have that choice, that comes with a sense of control.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Let's go back one last time to our Mike Siona, who was at the BHP Enchanted Forest this morning. Mike.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is an absolutely really cool tree here at the BHP Enchanted Forest, and I'm here with Don Warnick, the CEO of the Saskatoon Zoo Foundation. This is your favorite tree. That's why we're here.
It is my favorite tree. I know for those that come to the BHP Enchanted Forest every year, it's a wonderful experience, but this year it's even brighter. The trees that are all wrapped, it's such a new experience.
It's really, really cool, and we talked earlier about the availability of new sponsorship. So a company or a business that wants to sponsor this tree can do that.
Absolutely, and what better way to brand your business, especially for all the families and all the visitors that come to the BHP Enchanted Forest from around the world each year.
No doubt about it. Now, I love that. Obviously, it's here at the Forestry Farm. The Zoo Foundation does some tremendous work here, and you guys are raising money for what this year?
Well, our goal is to build the bears a new home, and it's an ambitious goal. It's a great plan, but it would also open the door for us to bring in an endangered species like the polar bears.
Wow, imagine that. So all you have to do, realistically, is just come on down to the BHP Enchanted Forest, enjoy the holiday season and the spirit, and you could be helping the bears.
Absolutely. All the proceeds go towards education and conservation, and the zoo is open 364 days a year for everybody.
Absolutely. I love that. And well, this time of year, you don't even need the season pass. I've got mine, but
exactly.
It's almost 2026. So lots going on down here. But ultimately, tonight is the last night for the walking tour, the Blue Cross Enchanted Forest Walk, and then open for vehicles tomorrow, Saturday at 5:30 p.m. at the BHP Enchanted Forest.
This week in business, we're focusing in on affordability and payment plans that might deserve a second look. Financial commentator Patty Levitt-Reid back with us this morning. First time on Your Morning Saskatchewan. Patty, thank you for doing this.
And your attire hasn't changed. Oh, what is going on?
No,
I know what's going on.
I also don't age. We're coming close to the holiday season, Patty.
Yes.
When do you know if a buy now, pay later program is good for you?
When there aren't fees, there are no interest charges, and you use a trusted provider. Thanks for that setup. Look, every year, come the holiday season, I see it happen, and people will rack up debt on their credit cards. I always talk about the financial hangover, and I think people are getting really savvy. But here's the deal, Daryl. What I have seen from Leger, a report, suggests 6 in 10 are feeling the financial stress, but 74% are going to have budgets. So if you're thinking of using something like PayPal Pay in 4, I like this because it's time sensitive. It's a payment option. It's not really a buy now, pay later because you've got to pay it off in 6 weeks. And the total amount that you can actually put into this type of payment is anywhere from $30 if you spend to $1,500 at the checkout. And so you could actually have those payments made before the holiday season. Families are going to look at their debt levels. They're going to spend. I know that. But what I'm trying to do is say, let's look at how we can use the financial tools that aren't going to cost us. And really, if there isn't interest and there aren't fees, I think it's worthy of looking at it.
Where do we start to get ourselves in trouble, Patty?
Yeah, that's a fair question. I think the question is when you see the sales are coming up. We talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and there's an obligation around the holiday season. I think people are getting creative, Daryl. I'm seeing a lot more do-it-yourself, group gifting, coupons, cash back. The point is there are a lot of options, and I think you've got to look at it from your family's perspective. You know that make the list, check it twice? Well, I think there's a lot of validity to it because it allows you to see really what you can afford to pay and do it in a time-sensitive way because quite often you can give the gift. Say you're going to pay a year down the road and the gift is long forgotten, but the payment isn't and the interest charges aren't. So I'm hoping that people could just be a little more savvy this year.
And it starts with things like your aforementioned PayPal unit where we can space out our spending or just having the cash on hand to begin with, I guess.
Well, that would be good. And you know what? It is a form of doing that. Let's say you get a bonus at Christmas, but you see something on sale right now. Okay, so why not use this payment flexibility? It's a financial tool. And so how Pay in 4 works is all you need to do is make the first payment at checkout and then over the next 6 weeks, every 2 weeks, they'll give you a reminder to say, hey, you owe this as well. This is offered literally around the globe. PayPal is structured, it's trusted. But the point is, I'm looking at it from the average Canadian perspective, and I want to make sure that Canadians explore all of their options so they don't go into debt because this is a really difficult period right now for a lot of households. And who wants to pay interest and fees if you don't have to?
Patty, we'll do this again in January when people start to get that New Year's credit card scare, and we need to find out what exactly to do about it. Patty Levitt-Reid is the best in the business financial commentator. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks, Daryl.
On the 8:30 on Your Morning Saskatchewan, and we begin with this. A Saskatchewan farm group calling on Ottawa to bring back strychnine, saying gophers are causing millions of dollars in damage. It comes after the federal agriculture minister said he support an emergency exemption. Stacey Hine reports.
What looks like a cute critter to many is a major problem for producers.
Gophers, even though they're small, the damage that they're doing is quite extensive.
The Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan says Richardson ground squirrels, commonly known as gophers, are growing in number, causing significant crop damage and creating burrows that can injure livestock. It's calling for strychnine to be reinstated, saying current pesticides are more expensive and less effective.
That's certainly contributed to the fact that the gopher population has been exploding, and particularly in some areas in the southwest.
The once common pesticide was banned for use on Richardson's ground squirrels in 2023 and banned entirely last year. It has long faced criticism for causing an inhumane death and for the risk it poses to other wildlife.
The poison stays in the system even when the animal's dead, so if it gets eaten, and if the death isn't instant especially, they'll get hunted by another animal and that animal will get poisoned.
Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation says last year it paid about $10.6 million in gopher-related claims on about 123,000 acres, about twice the size of Saskatoon. Last month, Federal Agriculture and Agri-Food Minister Heath MacDonald said he would support an emergency exemption to use strychnine.
Will you support producers or provinces if they apply for the exemption? Would I? Yes. Yes.
The Pest Management Regulatory Agency, which falls under Health Canada, not agriculture, would have the final say on an exemption. APAS calls Minister MacDonald's comments encouraging and says it'll continue to push for an exemption before spring, when gophers begin breeding. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, launched its rocket yesterday, along with a pair of NASA spacecraft bound for Mars. Sam Champion reports.
This morning is rocket recycling the next height in the space race.
Now passing Mach 1, new one is now supersonic.
Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin successfully launching its 321-foot New Glenn rocket into orbit, sending twin NASA probes on a mission to Mars. The rocket taking off from Cape Canaveral at 3:55 p.m. on Thursday. The first stage of the mission, a success.
And we have Pico.
3 minutes into the launch, its booster successfully separating from the upper stage that was carrying those Mars orbiters. This moment earning a massive applause, but watch this. Blue Origin's booster spending about 9 minutes airborne until its bullseye touchdown on a barge in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. An historic first for the company and a crucial milestone, allowing boosters to be recycled and slash future costs. Bezos beaming and hugging fellow staffers in the control center, and the scene on the ground, euphoric. Congratulations pouring in from NASA officials and even Elon Musk from competitor SpaceX on social media.
The fact that Blue Origin pulled this off today is a really big deal. The cheaper things are to send into space, the more things we can send, the more science we can send, the more exploration we can do.
The mission, a promising milestone for the future of space exploration. The two satellites now on a long journey to the red planet, first circling an area nearly 1 million miles from Earth before entering Mars's orbit in 2027, where they will conduct research on how the sun is impacting the planet's atmosphere.
Even though we talk about sending humans to Mars, which is really important, we want to make sure we understand where we're sending them to, whether it's safe, how to land, how to live there, what types of threats or opportunities they might have to explore there. And to do that, we need to keep sending science missions there.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says it has wrapped up its active operations at the BC Ostrich Farm, where more than 300 birds were culled last week. The agency says the remains of the ostriches have been disposed of through deep burial at a BC landfill. The farm in the community of Edgewood, BC, remains under quarantine. The cull was ordered nearly a year ago because of an avian flu outbreak and made headlines, as you know, around the world during a lengthy legal battle that ended when the Supreme Court denied the farm's appeal to save the flock. Professional marksmen were used for the cull. Critics called it inhumane. Ongoing tariff concerns due to the trade tensions with the United States are leading Canadians to tighten their purse strings when it comes to holiday spending this year. A Bank of Montreal survey reveals 3 in 5 Canadians plan to adjust their spending due to tariff concerns, and nearly a quarter started shopping earlier to avoid potential price hikes. 41% of respondents say they plan to cut back. Overall, Canadians plan on shelling out an average of $2,300 over the holidays, with the highest spent on travel, food, and grocery. The countdown to Christmas is on, and holiday shopping, as we just mentioned, is as well. You might be feeling the squeeze this year, though. With the very latest, here's Laura Woodward.
With about 40 days until Christmas and Black Friday around the corner, holiday shopping is picking up.
I've shopped for a couple gifts so far, yes.
The hardest to shop for is probably my cookum, because I don't know what she would want.
The rising cost of living is expected to shape how people spend this year.
There's an unusually high level of stress this year. 57% of Saskatchewan consumers are reporting that they're feeling more stressful than they have since pre-pandemic.
The Retail Council of Canada surveyed 2,500 shoppers across the country and found people are being more strategic with their purchases.
People are very focused on pricing, waiting for sales, comparing prices, looking online.
In Saskatchewan, the Retail Council estimates the average shopper will spend $890 on gifts. That's up 9% from last year and just under the national average.
You notice things getting more expensive out there? Yeah.
Toys, especially toys.
Would that change how much you spend at Christmas?
Yeah, probably. For sure, stuff's more expensive. Yeah.
It's hard to cut. It's hard to cut the kids. I only buy for them, so yeah, a little bit less.
I'll make sure I buy for the grandkids, but if the adults don't get as much, they're adults and they can buy their own stuff.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The University of Regina has made history welcoming their first Indigenous chancellor. Former Chief of Cowce's First Nation and local businessman Cadmus DeLorme inaugurated into the new role. Over the last 15 years, he has held various roles at the U, most recently a part of their Board of Governors. He plans to have a number of significant conversations on a number of topics, including normalizing reconciliation in academia.
I'm very external focused, so I get to focus on alumni, current students, donors, respectable people in this province and country. But internally, I get to sit in those meetings as well, and I can explain things that we need to shift, we need to pivot, because that's what the university is, and that's who we can be, and that's the role I want to play for the next 3 to 6 years.
DeLorme is the 10th chancellor in the university's history, and we've just confirmed he will be on the show here with us on Tuesday. MAD Canada officially launched its 2025 Project Red Ribbon campaign to remind you of the dangers of impaired driving over the holidays.
This year we featured 22-year-old Rebecca Beatty. Her and her best friend were killed by an impaired driver in October 2021.
The campaign has been going for 38 years now to promote sober driving or planning a safe ride home. The campaign to educate you about the dangers and consequences of impaired driving also honors victims and survivors, providing support to loved ones. MAD says the risk of impaired driving is high because of increased social events during the holiday season. University of Saskatchewan Huskies just a little bit away from their first bowl game in 20 years. They're very excited. The last time Griffith Stadium hosted the semifinal bowl game was in 2005. They now call it the Mitchell Bowl, when the Huskies beat Laval 29-27. Saturday, the Huskies will go up against the Queens Golden Gales for a chance to go to the Vanier Cup in Regina. Queens from Kingston, Ontario, went 5-3 this season. The Huskies 7-1. Scott Flory says he remembers playing in a bowl game in Saskatoon and what it means to host.
I mean, we just get the luxury and of not being able to travel and being able to stay home and being able to prep here in, beautiful sunny Griffith Stadium, right? So, not having to go on the road, not having to do a bunch of those things is great. They're going to come in ready to go. I mean, we know Queens is going to be ready to play on Saturday, so it'll be a great game. I know our guys are going to be ready though too.
2025 Mitchell Bowl kicks off 2 o'clock, Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon. Now, that is outside football. We need outside football weather. What do you got in store for us?
Well, we're not seeing bad temperatures, so to say, but we are going to be seeing them go down in the next few days, right around or slightly above the seasonal average. Right now in Regina, we're at 7 degrees. That has been going down this morning. It was just about 2 hours ago. We were at 13 degrees. Now we're at 7, but we do have those winds that have been increasing in the past couple hours as well. Right now, they're at 28 kilometers per hour in Regina and 15 kilometers kilometers per hour in Saskatoon as we wake up to that 1 degree temperature with some clouds. Those winds in Saskatoon very likely to be increasing later on into the afternoon as well, likely up to about 50 kilometers per hour. Now, we're also talking about some of that precipitation down towards the south. So areas just below Swift Current there, going to be getting some flurries into the early parts of the afternoon, and then also into the later parts as well, as we see some rain go on over top in the southeast corner. So Estevan going to be seeing that rain. And then right as we think that that system bringing those flurries down in the southwest is going to be pushing off, well, it's a false sense of security because we see some more come back. This is at Saturday morning as well. So the southwest corner going to be seeing quite a bit of snow this weekend. Today's forecast now, though, we're seeing 3 degrees this afternoon for Swift Current with that wintry mix there of that precipitation. Weyburn 12 degrees, but that's going to be earlier on in the day. Later on into the afternoon, we're going to be seeing temperatures drop down. Estevan 13, similar conditions there where it's going to be cooler through the later parts of the afternoon. Yorkton up to 8 degrees with that cloud cover, and Prince Albert up to about 2 degrees. In Regina, your 5-day forecast showing that Tuesday is the day that we have the higher likelihood of seeing those flurries start to fall. And in Saskatoon, we see them a little bit earlier on Monday. Tuesday, we do see things clear up for the central zone. However, we see those flurries continue on later into your work week next week. So that's Wednesday and Thursday. Now let's take a look at that Grey Cup forecast, because inevitably people are heading out to catch that Grey Cup game on Sunday in Winnipeg. So we are holding on to some pretty decent weather. At kickoff, we'll be at about -1, feeling like -3 with the wind chill though. Halftime, -3, feeling more like -6. Clear skies going to be continuing all throughout the game into those overnight hours, and winds are going to be remaining low between 15 to 20 kilometers per hour.
A long while since the Saskatchewan Roughriders made it to, let alone won the Grey Cup. And the man joining me right now was on the field in that celebration all those years ago, which is such a weird thing to say all those years ago. Paul Waldo, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
First, let's start with the big game tomorrow. You are part of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies coaching squad, going for the chance to go to the Vanier Cup, which is here in Regina, the Mitchell Bowl. How do you beat the Queen's Gales?
You know what, it's hard because you don't play those teams at a conference overly often, right? So it's just kind of a matter of making adjustments and making sure you execute and stuff like that. So just staying kind of calm and poised, because there's going to be a lot of energy going on. So yeah, adjusting to what they do, and it'll be a good game. They'll be ready.
We should mention the crew's here with us. Your son. This is awesome. Good for get him some screen time. Why not, right? What do you remember about 2013? You're wearing the ring. What do you remember when you sit back and you think about it?
You know what? I kind of remember bits and pieces almost. I don't remember a whole lot about the game, to be honest. I remember more probably celebrating after in the locker room with all the guys and our families and stuff like that. But just the journey from the beginning to the end of that season, and starting off really hot and then going cold for about 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Losing a few games back to back and then kind of rallying at the end and putting it all together.
That 2 weeks was like -52, and then the skies just parted and the sun came down and the game day was not so bad.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like during that week, there was a few players. I think there was 3 or 4 players from the Hamilton Tiger Cats ended up getting frostbite. That didn't end up playing because they just weren't ready and aware for it. So yeah, it was super cold. I remember just thinking, man, I hope it warms up come Sunday. And then Sunday it was beautiful.
Can you draw any parallels between that team in 2013 and the one we're about to see on Sunday in the Grey Cup?
Yeah, I think so. I think when I got signed in 2012, and there was that new regime, Corey Chamberlain and Brendan Taman had just gotten there, or Corey did, and it was kind of like the lead up. 2012 was just putting the team together, bringing all the right guys in, and then knowing that we were going to host in 13, and then be able to hit the ground running in 13, and probably pretty similar with Coach Mace coming in a year ago, them just kind of overhauling the roster, getting the guys that they wanted, bringing the pieces in, and then being able to hit the ground running this year.
Who do you still talk to from the 2013 squad?
Oh, the whole gang. Macho Harris, who I spend a lot of time with, with the football academy that we got going on right now, and then, Tyrone Brackeridge and Terrell Mays and Tristan Jackson, all those guys that the defensive back crew, the Wolfpack is what we used to call ourselves. So we're still in touch regularly, and it's great to kind of, just go back and reminisce about all the good times. So
I remember you used to make the media do push-ups on the sideline. It was almost like we were a part of it too, which was kind of cool. How old was he at the time?
He was not born yet.
Not born yet.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Pretty wild.
That's crazy. Is he playing? Are you playing?
He is playing, yeah.
He's not wearing a microphone, so we apologize. You're playing, right?
Yeah.
Flag and full?
Yeah, and tackle.
Yeah.
And tackle? All right, my man. I'm sorry that he didn't get to see that memory, but you guys get to share it on Sunday. What are you going to do for the game?
You know what? We'll be sticking around home probably and getting together with family or friends to watch it. But we had the chance to go to the Grey Cup last year, and like I said, we know we're hosting in a couple of years now, so it's might be a tradition where him and I start going.
Yeah, you're going to go up to that game. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to bring me back a Huskies jersey because I lost a bet with my colleagues in Saskatoon, so I got to wear one now.
Oh, good. Well, that's great.
So
we love promoting that around here, so we'll make sure we get you one.
Football is now family, of course, right? And it's all leading to the Vanier Cup. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good luck as an alumni on Sunday. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Should be a good weekend. Thanks.
Thank you more to Crew for being here. He's an awesome little guy. Bye.
Thanks, buddy. Awesome.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. Said I keep coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed. We dreaming hard, we came so far now. I believe we're going
the terrifying moment a fan tried to ambush singer Ariana Grande during her Wicked for Good movie premiere. Not once, but twice. Watch as the man leaps over the barrier and throws his arms around a visibly startled Ariana Grande, her co-star Cynthia Erivo prying him away, wrapping her arms around Grande, comforting and shielding her. The cast were walking the yellow carpet at the sequel's premiere Thursday in Singapore. As Ariana signs autographs for fans, the crasher rushes in. Erivo separating the man from Grande before security pulled him away, and the cast continued down the carpet. He's then seen dancing and jumping around before charging the stars again. This time, security throws him down on the ground and arrests him.
This is an incredibly dangerous situation, especially for someone like Ariana Grande, who has millions and millions of followers. This absolutely was scary.
The man identified as Johnson Wynn is known as a serial stage invader. Now, some are questioning if security around these public events should be increased.
I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing stronger partitions, making it far more difficult for people to jump over and access celebrity talent. You know, coming up next week is the New York premiere of Wicked 2, and I can just about imagine that the studio is going to be upping their security because of what happened in Singapore.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Today, we meet Giovanni Vasquez and Jeff Alberts. They are some of the biggest Green Bay Packers fans around.
And they have a lot more in common that goes beyond their love of Green Bay. ABC's Becky Worley has a look.
Meet Giovanni and Jeff, two sports fanatics from Wisconsin. The two brought together by the Green Bay chapter of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program 3 years ago.
Within the first couple minutes of them chatting and getting to know each other, I could definitely tell that they would be a good fit right off the bat.
They hit it off almost immediately. You'll likely find them tossing the ball around Titletown next door to Lambeau Field, or even front and center at the NFL draft. Since meeting his big brother, Jeff, Giovanni's confidence confidence simply growing.
His personality, his demeanor, he's calm at all times. We've talked about him having a big brother and how much he's helped him as well.
And when Giovanni got injured and couldn't play quarterback for his high school team, he learned to pivot.
Most kids I know would just completely give it up. They turn to video games or even worse things. But he persevered.
The 15-year-old choosing to volunteer and help coach his former middle school team, making the best of a bad situation. A lesson learned in part by his friendship with Jeff.
The very first time he blew his whistle, the kids gathered around him. He looked like he belonged on the football field as a coach. They didn't just treat him as a kid helping out. They knew he was coach. He commanded that respect, and he earned that respect very early on.
To see him just take ownership of himself and be confident in front of other people, it's really just rewarding.
He is going to go far. Whatever he wants to do, Giovanni will accomplish.
Becky Worley, ABC News.
A bit of giving back.
Yeah, it's a good one.
A little bit of that. Let's get over to our sidebar. This story is trending all over our websites. The harbor seal you're about to see made the escape of a century.
Oh my God. Oh, you poor thing. I am shaking right now.
This is off an island in Washington State earlier this month. A group of photographers were watching orcas when they were seemingly decided to take a seal snack break. The seal was having none of it, obviously, jumped onto the boat to get away.
So I'm conflicted on this one, though, because I love orcas. I obviously don't want starving orcas. But look at how cute the seal's face is.
I know, it's one of those.
Circle of life.
Do you intervene? Don't you? My wife, the ecologist, would say no, kick the seal off.
Yeah. Look at his face. He's so sweet. And I love orcas. But
what an experience.
Go find a different snack.
What an experience for the people on the boat, though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
to see all those orcas?
After all the stories we run on this show of orcas attacking boats, would you just say, hey, buddy, you got to go?
Now the bait is on the boat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, one of the most spectacular examples of Renaissance illuminated manuscripts is now on public display. It's a 15th century Bible that's known for its miniature paintings inside. The Bible was created between 1455 and 1461. It is usually kept in a safe at a library in Modena, but it was transported to Rome under heavy security. It will now remain on display until mid-January. The display is part of the Vatican's Holy Year celebrations.
There you go.
I mean, it's beautiful. Look at it.
Wow. Very, very intricate.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to touch it. Like, who's flipping those pages?
Why are they not wearing white gloves?
Where are the gloves?
Yeah. There's a protocol for things like this.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Let's keep our paws off history, folks.
Yeah, no doubt. Director Corey, how much time do we got? All right, vibe coding is just named Collins Dictionary's Word of the Year. Term was coined by a founding member of OpenAI and refers to an emerging software that turns natural language into computer code using AI. Collins says it's programming by vibes, not variables. Okay.
I don't understand
I've never heard
a word
used.
you're saying.
No.
Exactly. I agree with you.
I'm over here still trying to figure out 6-7 for some reason. 6-7. Let's take a look at some of the hardworking folks that make this show possible. See you next week.